I can never get tired of hearing Tommy Tallarico's music. I'm just saying.
Such a mess.
Who?
What's going on, what?
Who?
Oh, don't start. Don't start 30 seconds into the show. I know you're in a bad mood. Don't start.
I think I need to play Terminator on the Sega CD.
That's where that
yes.
That's where that came from. That track.
I know. As soon as I saw Tommy Tallarico and Terminator, I put the two together.
Yes.
I love that game.
I'm
One
not
of my
with it.
favorites. Welcome everybody. It is Thursday night. It is the NLG Show. We are back. We are live. We got the chat room hopping already. Oh, I love it. Love it when I come in. We're like 20 minutes before the show and everybody's like, "What's up, everybody?" I love it. I love it. I love it. So how's everybody doing? Do not adjust your set. John's off tonight, so we got a nice guest who has been asking to be on the show for ever since I met him, and he took a nap, and here he is. So what is up? It is the generational gamer himself, J Prime. What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm well rested right now.
Yeah, we'll talk.
How does that feel?
Maybe he's the only one. We'll be the whole
Yeah.
way.
What
Yeah.
you do is as soon as you walk in the house, you shower and then lay down and don't let anybody talk to you for a little bit.
I don't think that
That's
would
what I
work.
should have
I
done.
How
wouldn't
do you-
be here.
How do you do that with children?
My wife is awesome.
That's the
And
way to do
she's
it.
probably watching, so it's even better that she heard it
I
naturally.
thought maybe he snuck in, you know? It's like, hey, I think that's all. This car's in the driveway. I haven't heard him.
I came home today. Both of my kids were playing either Minecraft or Animal Crossing, and they didn't care where I was. So it worked out well.
Nice. That's typically my kids. I'll come upstairs. They'll say hi, Dad, and then that's the last I see of them. So, but welcome to the show, man. I'm glad you were able to make it.
I appreciate you having me on today. Thanks for letting me know a lot earlier today. It was very helpful.
Right. Well, I knew earlier in the day that we were going to need a sub, so made it easy. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Last minute is always the best time, though.
Oh yeah, that's great for the host.
Not if the kids have tucked me in already. That's not
Best
cool.
for the host.
Aren't you supposed to tuck them in? Isn't that how it works?
Yeah, but it's funnier the other way around. And I usually go to bed before them, so yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Yeah.
Tuck me in. Good night.
Mm.
So I sleep in on the weekends. That's how I do it.
Didn't
that's
Father's Day just
luxury.
happened? How'd that go for you, Mike?
Actually went decently.
He survived?
I did. I was over my mom's house with my oldest son helping put the pool filter in so we can get the pool going. And then my wife took me, my wife and kids, for what it's worth, they took me to Outback for dinner. And it was actually, I it was actually a really nice day. Really nice day. So,
That's good.
so what did you guys end up doing?
Got breakfast in bed.
Nice. Nice.
Still at the usual time, but hey,
What's the usual time?
early.
Oh, hell no. That's the whole
We don't get to sleep in this household.
See, that's what I love about my wife.
Wow.
She lets me sleep in. I feel so bad.
Nice.
My wife would if I ever slept in. I'm up at 4 a.m. every day, no matter what, anyway.
There's something wrong with you. That's why.
And that's why I need to go to sleep before the show begins on a normal basis.
Right.
6 a.m. is sleeping in for me.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
pretty
guys.
much me too.
Yeah.
I feel for you guys, really. So, what about you, Frankie? I know you don't have any kids, but did you do anything? Well, I guess.
He's a kid himself. He did
Yeah.
something for himself.
Yeah, that's a fair point, Chris. No, Sunday was my only day off, so I spent it playing a game that we're going to talk about in a little bit. So
Cool.
Oh, wonder what that can be.
yeah,
Snap.
no,
Oh, snap.
Is it burnout?
I wish Burnout's great. I do love Burnout.
Yeah, especially when you pay full price for it when it's been out for 7 years. But, you know.
Actually,
Yeah.
Switch
hearing
tax.
about
Not
the game.
paying quite full price because you paid $60 and then bought each of the DLCs. Then you're paying a bit more.
Okay. All right. You're paying
Which I
almost
also
full price.
did, and then bought it again on the PS4. But I will not buy. I'm gonna end up having to buy 2 copies of it, one for me and one for my son. And I'm not spending $100 on a game I've already bought twice.
I was about to start reading other people in the chat what they had for Father's Day, and then Infinite was going to be the first one, and then I'm glad I read it twice. Good grief.
Well, my wife
Love
went
you
out
guys.
and gave me crabs for Father's Day.
All
The
right,
crustacean. Let's be
Okay, I was gonna
clear.
say that's not any
Yeah.
better than what.
Yeah.
It's like, what kind of present does she give you?
I
Oh,
almost
man.
had crab for Father's Day, but
That's not.
close enough.
Yeah, but you guys.
That's
So
that's not the same thing, Chris.
yeah.
Ah,
Crab.
okay.
Well,
Hey,
well,
whatever you call it.
well, crap. Jesus. Well, this show's gone off the rails already. It's another Thursday night.
Didn't
That's
pick
not
me.
even 10 o'clock. And
I went Mike's Hard Lemonade tonight because I figured.
ooh, so good.
Yeah, I haven't had anything alcoholic in a couple of weeks on this show, so
You know
Oh,
what?
I
I'm
love
I'm
ice
sad.
cream.
So I gotta ask, did you guys know that there's a Stone Cold Steve Austin IPA?
no,
Mike.
Yeah, I think I remember hearing about it.
I did not. I did
Yeah.
not know that.
I just learned about it the other day because one of my coworkers and I were talking about the Last Ride documentary with the Undertaker, and I don't even know how it came up, but randomly it's like, yeah, have you tried that Stone Cold beer? And I was like, wait, what? It's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. He's like, dude, yeah, go to this place. They carry it. It's good. If you like IPAs, it's really smooth. So, it's easy to get fucked up on because you're going to drink all of it right away. I'm like, okay, yeah, we're okay. So I went and found some. It is really good. Very smooth, especially for an IPA. I was like, all right, yeah. And I'm sad because I left it. I'm out of space in the fridge because right now I'm on a Cider Boys kick because I don't know why, but I just the hard ciders are really good. And the
They
Cider
are.
Boys, so good. I
Those are
love
the
'em.
first things I ever got really drunk on after whiskey.
It's a good
Really?
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
I don't
nothing
drink
wrong with
much though, so
Yeah. I mean,
I'm not a
I
big
didn't either.
drinker either.
Yeah, I'm normally not, but I have a couple coworkers who we do a beer exchange every Saturday now. So we're all trying to find random shit that none of us have ever heard of, and we do a giant trade off on Saturdays. So I think this is going to be in the 6-pack I put together this week. But yeah, it's good. It's a Smoking Skull IPA. So I forget the brewer because I've never heard of them before. But that stuff's really good, but I didn't have any in the fridge. I just took a can out last night when I got it home because it was still cold. So I was going to have one of those, but not tonight.
Yeah, I do. I mean, beer and wine and stuff. I don't do heavy stuff. I never have. No, and I don't know. It's not for me. So, but beer, give me a good Yingling, and I'm always happy.
Dude, Yingling on tap, best
Yes.
beer.
Oh,
It is, and as much as I like it on the bottle, tap is incredible. So, So, oh man, Monkey Punch is in the room. See, I love it when our friends come in. It's awesome, awesome. So, all right, well, let's start with you, J Prime. I wanted to since you're kind of being introduced to our friends and our chat room. So tell us a little about yourself and what you came up gaming and give us a little background and then we'll get into what you do.
Well, I've been gaming since I was about 5 years old. My grandmother played in television with me. That was my very first console.
Nice.
And she taught me the ways of Burger Time. Long before I had a Yoda, I had a grandma who played Burger Time. And we played that. We played Shark, Astro Smash. She used to play while she was waiting for her laundry. So we had an Intellivision, and they had an Intellivision at their house, and that was all fine, well and good. Eventually graduated to the NES, and then the Sega Genesis, Super NES, and then moved to N64, then switched to PlayStation, never went back. Hey, Dreadpool. And then eventually went back after I got sick of PlayStation. Now I'm a Switch loyalist with a strong interest in the Amico when it comes out.
Switch loyalist. I don't think I've heard that one before.
Yeah, just call me a fanboy, you know?
All right.
That Switch gang.
Switch gang. That's what I've heard, yeah.
I love the fact that it's relatively modern games with the ability to play them anywhere. And as I said in one of my videos, it is the ideal console for the middle-aged gamer.
You mean handheld?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's portable. Yeah, I take it anywhere.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh, well, not
console.
anywhere. Yeah, I love this thing. That's why we have 3 in the house now. My kids each have one, and I have one.
So, how does that happen?
I started with one, then my son wanted one, and then I got one because my daughter was always using mine, and I wanted to be able to use my console, so I bought a third one. If you're looking for go to nowinstock.net, I think it is, and you will get pinged every time one goes on sale for the real price, not the inflated $500 ridiculousness.
Yeah.
That's almost as many Xbox One X's as Chris has.
Not quite.
Not quite.
Not quite.
Well, I could buy an Amico for every room in the house, like some people we know.
You're probably going to have to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I only have one Amico pre-ordered. I'm not Pete.
Yeah, exactly. I only have one as well. And I didn't get the Founders. I got the VIP.
VIP?
Oh, so you're only a
Yeah, me
VIP? Eh.
That's right.
I'm with you. We're both VIPs.
I
was going to take a wait-and-see approach, and then after I talked to Tommy Tallarico, I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to pre-order one of these.
He does that.
I know!
Graphic God, Jay Williams, our graphic designer, he was the same way. He jumped in here. Tommy jumped on one night. He was in the chat, and he was like, But then he asked him about one, because Jay can really only game with one hand.
Okay.
Because one of his arms is kind of not doesn't work as well as the other, so he plays one-armed. And Tommy said, "Here, grab the controller." He was showing him all the stuff he could do one-handed, and Jay was like, "Yeah, that's it. I'm done. I got it." And he ordered one during the show.
Yeah.
Just imagine if I would have talked to him before the Founders Edition sold out. Would have had one of those.
Oh,
Maybe.
there was no way. See, Peter, myself,
That's how I
and
ended up with
Frankie
one.
are founders. There was no way we weren't going to be.
Yeah, I had to. I was driving. I was driving when they went on sale, and I had to pull up. And then the rest of the family said, "Why are you pulling up?" Hey, it's a surprise. Yeah.
Whoa.
There's only 2,600 consoles. All things that used to compete against the 2,600.
Yeah, he thought it was cute. So, Wilby Hood, Wilby, Jesus on a unicorn. That's all I could say.
Wait, what did you do to Mike? He's not the same anymore.
How many times did I say, "What the hell did I get into"? Hey, guy, I gotta tell you. So, just real quick, and I know it's hard because they're on Wednesday nights, and myself and Pete and sometimes you, Jay, and a bunch of folks do the All Access show, the Amico All Access show at the same time.
Yep.
But I got to tell you, folks, if you get a chance to, you got to check out Gaming Beyond the Box. I had a freaking great time with those guys. They're hilarious, first off, and the chemistry between everybody was great. How Wilmy kept bringing people in, because StreamYard only has 6 people max you can have on at one time, so he's rotating guys in. It's like playing basketball and just bringing.
That's why it looked like a
people
carousel. It's like, hey, that's kind of.
He's bringing people in off the bench, but
I was wondering
no,
what
man,
was going on there.
it was a great time, and Wilmy, I really appreciate you having me on. It really was fun, and we did get to talk some serious games and some serious game topics, and I just really had a good time. So what I try to do is, when I'm done with Amico All Access, I jump straight over to Gaming Beyond the Box, and I try to catch the last half of their show, and then I'll catch up the first half of the show the next day. So we got to try to get Wilmy on one night. He's awesome. I mean, it just really, and I'll tell you what, man, and don't, this is a compliment, trust me, deceptively intelligent gamers. Because you think we start talking about some crazy off-the-wall shit, but then when we started talking about, like, the gaming portion of the show, these guys were, like, on point and had some really good conversations about, you know the news that everybody thinks the Xbox One S Series S is real now because it showed up in a June SDK. So we had a really good conversation about whether that was really coming or not. We did have a good conversation about, and we won't talk about it here, but really good conversation about a lot of the crazy allegations going on in the gaming world. And then we talked about, I forgot what the last thing we talked about because I was laughing too hard, but go check that show out. Check out last night's show. It was fantastic. So
It sounds pretty biased.
I've only been on it once. It's a pretty good. I'm a pretty good judge of character, I think.
I bet that was
So-
the best show too, right?
They talk
Huh?
about all the consoles. They talk about the Move controller being X-rayed up someone's, you know what?
Yes, that's what it was.
hey.
Are you
When
sure it was a
Fork
Move
Boy came on,
controller?
I will forever now call him Dr. Fork Boy.
That's John. John accidentally sat on it.
Yeah.
Ow, not here today.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
it has the
Don't
bulb at the
apologize
top.
to him. He deserves it. Can't believe he's not here.
So, anyway, so the other thing too about you, J Prime, is that you've got your own channel, and it's funny because I've told this a couple times now. I met you through Pete, but I knew you before that. So you do some great videos on products, stuff that you're stream, and you do some gameplay streams now too. But
Yes.
the product stuff was really the first thing. That's how I got my Xbox Hyperkin cable. Not my Xbox one, my
Glad you
Dreamcast
like it.
Hyperkin cable.
Everything's still good. Yeah, modern
Yeah.
technology for retro games.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That's what I throw in there all the time. Yeah, I like doing the live streams. I have a lot of fun doing them, so I've been doing more of them. And the only reason why I wasn't doing them so much before is because I have a Mac and an Elgato HD60S is a pain in the ass with the Mac. I upgraded and sold
most
the other
things are.
one, and it's so much easier now. So
You should have sold the Mac.
no,
Ooh, did I say that out loud? I'm
I
sorry.
love my.
Oh man. Well, so we'll I'll put the link to your channel in the description, and make sure people go to see you. We got to get you up above. We already got Pete up above 1,000 subs. We got to get you up there now too.
Well, you know what? I'd really like that.
Well, we'll work on that. So, but welcome and thanks for filling in tonight.
Absolutely, thank you.
So, now we got the rest of the crew to my right, to your right, to my, I don't know where the hell you are. To my left,
Yeah,
left
Mike,
arm.
just point. Just start pointing.
But I'm trying to. Look, do the Egyptian. Look, I
Yeah.
walk like an Egyptian. And now somebody's going to get offended and tag our channel. Okay, so Peter Heutink, HDK, he's in the game. What's up, brother?
What's going on?
What's
Wow,
happening?
another week. Well, we survived.
I know.
Did a lot of gaming on the PlayStation this week. Haven't been on Xbox, I don't think, at all. There's that game, The Last of Us Part 2, and it's definitely keeping me busy.
When you get hooked, man, you get hooked.
And I get hooked. Yeah. But not enough hours in a day.
No.
True.
No. All right. Well, so we'll talk about that in a little bit. And then in the middle square, as always, he is the man with the epic beard. He is the man who loves to check out everybody else's podcast too, because he supports you no matter what. Game on what you want. Who the fuck cares? It is Chris Williams.
Whoa.
Fastback. What's up, brother?
Language, sir, language.
I know. You know what? We got 3 minutes to 10. I'll hold until after that.
No,
So, what's going on, man?
It's long week. A lot of work, a lot of overtime this week, but I'm off tomorrow, so I can't complain. Too bad. Father's Day was a great weekend.
Awesome.
So, got a Game Pass game gonna show up here in a little while. So,
Yeah. See, look, it was 3 minutes to 10. I said WDFC, and who pops into the chat but Dazzy, baby?
who
continues on the road? Continues on the road to recovery.
Mm-hmm.
Saw his first gameplay stream since getting out of the hospital, and it was great to see, brother. We're so glad that you are getting back to some semblance of normal, and just know we love you, Dazzy. So.
Yeah, brother. I'm just gonna be here Thursday, and always look forward to be on with you guys. Got a second win, so.
This show's always a second win for me.
Hell yeah.
It is.
And glad to have Generation Gamer on.
Thank you.
I always enjoy his background. On
That's
the
good.
other, like whenever
I see why.
the room, like he always has all these gadget stuff going on.
Yes.
So it's like, what is he going to show today? So.
Well, the other day you were cleaning. What were you cleaning? You were cleaning something when I jumped in.
Oh yeah, I bought a couple games, and I don't put them in my They were both Genesis games. I will not put them in a Mega SG because the console is too damn expensive, and I always clean them first. But I also, at the same token, I don't trust anybody, so I have to take them apart and make sure that they're legitimate. So the first thing I did was take them apart, and then I realized, you know what? Let me add another camera here so people can actually see what I'm doing, and then put them back together and put them in there. But then I thought, the same token, I shouldn't put them in an old Genesis either, because that's 30 years old. So I'm just going to take them apart and clean them no matter what, whenever I get them.
Yeah,
And
that was cool.
that's what you came in upon.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah. You guys take apart games ever when you get them?
No. No.
So I can spot a fake a mile away now.
Nice.
And some of the more expensive games are faked a lot. Now, Genesis, most of the time, the fakes actually have a notch on the side, and they're kind of curved at the top when you just look at them. But a lot of times they're also where they're actually sealed shut plastic-wise. They're not screwed in. And you crack it open. It's the only way you can get into the cart. Also, they don't say Sega or Konami, like the two that I
They
had.
don't say Sega. On
Yeah,
it.
they say 16-bit on the back. I mean, you can just feel the plastic. It usually feels cheaper, but there are some that are really good.
The E
My
is a
buddy
3.
bought a Turtles game, and I was at his house, and he got it. He actually paid a decent price for it. I took one look at it. I said, that's fake right there. You know that? He goes, what? I said, look at it. Not only is the font wrong on the TMNT on the top, but it also doesn't have screws. They're plastic. And there's no raised or there's no indentation in the label on the back. So I mean, there's a lot of tells, but then when you take it apart and it's glued to the front of the cartridge, there's a problem here. I bought a copy of it because I wanted a complete version of Ninja Turtles 4, which I had as a kid, but I was a dumbass teenager and sold it, and ended up buying it again. But I wanted a complete in-box package, and I did buy it from Mercari, and they will not pay the seller until you're satisfied with it. And as soon as I touched the box, I knew the box was fake. It was kind of coming up on the edges. It just did not look like a real box. And then I opened it up, and the manual paper didn't feel right. And then I looked at the cartridge. This thing's fake. It was just a confirmation. So I responded immediately. I said, this is a counterfeit. And that's a kind of a big buzzword for any auction site. So he said, oh, just no problem. Just send it back. We'll take care of it. I was told it was real. Well, you were told wrong.
Wow.
I got refunded immediately on that.
That's good.
Yeah. Because that game's starting to trend up in price.
Oh,
So
yeah.
now, I don't have the box for it, but I do have a manual and a really good cartridge now. So I've told my kids, never sell your games. We'll find other ways. Never sell your games.
Right. See, we didn't have parents like that, but I might still have a box in storage. My mom, she doesn't really throw away anything, so I might have a box of my Atari, my NES, Super NES, and some of the games, some other goodies that might be surprised. So I got to make my way over there before my brothers do. We'll see who gets there first. Yeah.
I went through some of my Genesis games when I first started getting back into the retro stuff, and I could not believe all the ones that I had when I was a kid that I sold and then bought back inferior copies of. Ooh. So I had to fix all that.
Yeah.
So I'll just get it without the box. No, bad move, bad prime.
All right. And then, on the end, he's angry tonight, but we still love him.
Not him.
We still love him.
He had to wrangle his microphone.
I know. He was,
Doohickey.
yeah. Well, he got it.
But he,
semi there.
He did it, yeah.
Yeah, you did
I'm
get
impressed.
it. I'm impressed. We're both impressed.
Yeah.
So, the man who plays indie games that you've never heard of ever, and he sent me a list of indie
Like
games he wants to talk about.
Battleborn?
Like Battleborn. The indie game Battleborn.
Yeah, the hit indie game Battleborn.
Yeah.
Hit
you
indie
go.
game. All right.
Indie game. Love it.
The only game, the game that's popular in Frankie's mind. He is our favorite Frankie Ailor of all the Frankie Ailors there are out there. What's up, Frankie?
There's like probably two other ones, right?
I don't know. Is Ailor a popular name?
I don't know. It's a good question.
I know.
Probably not. Not if you're going by me, it isn't.
Ah. No.
First time I
So,
ever heard of it.
yeah. I mean,
Well, you look in
everybody.
the mirror and it's like, hey, there's another one.
Everybody who's. Wow. See. Peter's on point tonight.
Is
Sometimes he is.
But,
So. How you
so
doing?
yeah, I'm all right. Work's been absolute bullshit, so that's been fun. Last week I was really close to going over 60 hours, which you can't do because of the dot laws or something. I don't fully understand any of it, which is great because that's part of my job, I guess. So I can't work over 60 hours in a week, so that's exciting. So I think I was 20 minutes away from going over 60 hours. So I was like, cool. That was fun. But this week's been a lot better, mostly because someone's on vacation, so I'm actually running someone's actual route instead of, one of the stupid split trucks that are just all over the place that I normally have. So that's been cool. Just sort of learning a new area, learning all the pickup locations, all that stuff. So that's been really nice. Outside of the game that we're going to talk about later, the other thing I've been messing around with a lot is Desperados 3.
How is it?
It's really cool. So I'm not a huge RTS fan, just because playing as a primarily console gamer, there aren't many that translate well to console. Halo Wars 2 has been like the main exception, but so this is actually the guys that made this game, they made a game called Shadow Tactics: Blades of the Shogun. Before that, I think they had another indie game come out called The Last Tinker: City of Colors. That was kind of like it looked kind of like an N64 title. It was like throwback to like Ratchet and Clank type of combat. You're grinding on rails all over the place, doing fetch quests and all the stuff you did back in the early days of 3D gaming. So it was weird seeing them go from like this kind of cutesy thing to this, this tactics game with shoguns where you're going around, murdering everyone. So, but the way that they do it is actually really cool. So with Desperados 3, like I'm playing a beginner because I'm dumb and I don't know what the hell I'm doing half the time, and but basically as you play through the game, you'll come across more characters to add to your party. Each character, of course, has like their own abilities. So you have like John Cooper, who's the gunslinger who can take out 2 people at once with his gun. There's a lady who she can disguise herself, so she can basically walk around unnoticed amongst most of the people, except women will pick up on her, and I think there's a certain enemy type that picks up on her. There's what the hell is his name? I think Hector was his name. He's fucking hilarious. He has a shotgun, and his special is like this trap. I forget what he named it. It starts with a B, and I keep forgetting the name. But he names this trap, and it's funny because, like, as you're doing missions, the characters are interacting with each other, and someone was like, "You name that thing?" He's like, "Oh, Bianca." So yeah, so he like sets traps, and guards will walk into it. That'll go off and alert other guards. You can. So the cool thing about Desperados though is, so while you're doing all that, and the thing that I've been trying to kind of get better about figuring out how to do is there's a showdown system. So if you're playing on a level that's below whatever the hardest difficulty is, it basically will pause the game. So you can control each character. It kind of has a sense of like Mutant Year Zero. So it's a real-time strategy game, but you're kind of wandering around the world, and you can stealth take out enemies so that you're not alerting and starting this giant battle or anything. But what I've been doing, like, because you can kind of, the whole point of the showdown system is to set up, okay, well, I need to take out these 5 guys, or I need to get over here and do this. So you can basically set up like a diversion with this character over here, have this character sneak off over here, so you can accomplish whatever you're trying to do. But the cool thing that I've been really messing around with a lot lately is the lady can, I think her name is Kate. She can basically flirt with guards and make them follow her. So there's a couple guards that it groups 3 or 4 of them in just one group that'll follow her. So I'll have her flirting with the guys, and then I'll have 2 other characters that I'll do the showdown mode with that I'll have walk up behind the other 2 guards, stealth kill them. But it's the cool thing about the system is that you can like plan out your move and then resume the game. So with her, she can't kill anybody, so the second she goes to punch a guard to knock him out, it'll alert the other 2 guards. So just based on how the timing works with the system, she'll go to start knocking out the guard, and that'll start getting the meter up for the other guards. You press either up or triangle, I forget which button it is because it's been a couple weeks, but that'll trigger the thing that you'd planned out. So the 2 guys will come up and sneak up and kill the other 2 guys before they go like full-blown alert mode. So just doing stuff like that, working around the maps, it's so cool. Like, I'm terrible at these types of games, but that system is so fun to fuck around with. So I don't know if you're interested in like Wild West games, if you like real-time strategy games, and if you played Blades of the Shogun, definitely check that game out. It is really cool. I'm really enjoying it. So I'm hoping at some point I'll have something to show for it video-wise or something, just to give you an idea of what that game looks like and plays like. And like I said, I'm playing on beginner, so I'm sure as you bump up the difficulty, that kind of stuff isn't as easy as it is right now. But it's really fun just to mess around with and see what you can actually pull off in that game, because they're like, here's your objective, achieve it however you feel like you can. So it's been really cool just messing around with that thing, trying to figure all that out.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, sounds interesting. I'll play it.
Sounds like someone's taken off.
It ain't me.
Is this somebody's
be.
fan?
I do have a fan on,
Do you?
but I don't think it's me.
It's Peter.
No, it's not
It
you.
ain't me.
I don't know who it is.
Peter's playing The Last of Us.
Kind of like yeah, I can hear the
wait.
wave,
No, I
the water in
turned
the
my
Last of
microphone
Us.
off. Muted.
So less now.
It's our guest. So
It's my computer. I had the microphone sitting on the computer, and it was revving up its fan.
Like
see,
it.
our,
You said
our,
it was a Mac?
That'll do it.
yeah, he said
That's
a Mac.
why I was asking.
Someone have a vacuum cleaner on. See, our show's so hot it makes fans go off.
That's right.
Must be a PS4.
Ooh.
No shots fired.
No shots fired.
I didn't say it. Phil said it.
He did not. That's not what he said. Lord have
That's
mercy.
what the internet said. That Phil
I
said,
know
so
that's
it's
what
true.
the internet said he said. That's not what he said. What he said was, we're not
According
showing...
to the internet, anything that's said on the internet is
Yeah.
true.
It's
Bonjour.
true. Yeah. I mean, come on.
Lord. So, yeah, somebody took... So, basically, Phil Spencer was interviewing with somebody and ended up said, we're showing... We want people to hear our games, not our console. So... Immediately, of course, the fanboys and the console warriors all jumped up, like crazy people. Oh, he's taking shots at the PS4 and the fan. So, and I'm like, and I went back and I listened to the whole clip.
Yeah.
And what he was saying was, they're done showing the console. He's like, I don't want, they've spent all this time talking about the smart delivery and, the silicon and the thing, and now it's time to show the games. So what he said, we want people to hear our games, not our console. What he's saying is, it's time to show the games. So
fanboys were upset about the fans.
yes.
They thought he was taking shots at the PS4.
Anybody else see the irony in that?
Yeah. Especially the noisy ones.
Fanboys are always noisy.
Yes, they are. All right. Okay, so let's get moving into some stuff. Tell you what.
Are we mixing it up? No?
Yeah, let's mix it up. Chris? Yeah. Chris, why don't you go first this time? All right, hold on. I missed that. All right, no, that did go over my head. I'm sure you were trying to say something and it went way over my head. So, Chris, we're going to start with you.
I'm excited about this.
And so, what are we calling this segment?
I don't know. Coop called it Fast Pass.
Where's
Game Pass?
Where's Dave Dahl at?
He's in the room. Hold on.
I think
like
he had
that.
something. I didn't like it. If anybody in the chat has a
Wow.
name
How's
for
this?
my Game Pass segment, we'll figure it out at some point.
How about that? Fast pass with fastback.
I don't think
There
we
we
can
go.
call it Fast Pass, though. It's like trademarked by Disney for the parks.
Oh, great. So now we'll have Disney coming down on us.
That's
Exactly.
okay.
Why
You have
not?
millions of dollars. It's fine.
Yeah, true. We can pay them off. All right.
I'll just say something fast with Fastback.
All right. Well, we'll figure it out. Dave will figure out a name for it. Well, he didn't like his name, so I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Pass back.
Well, let me go real quick about what they showed about some upcoming games on Game Pass. They showed The Messenger.
Mm-hmm.
That is out this week.
Yeah.
Let's go on the Game Pass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Streets of Rogue. No, did you pull that deal from the
The
and
Messenger
then
is a
Observation,
great
which
game.
I think Observation is only on PC. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's on both. I'd have to check. But I'm interested in that one too.
The Messenger is absolutely awesome. I love that game.
No, Observation appears to be console as well.
Okay, cool. But the one and then the one lone game, I don't know why they didn't put it in with those, but Night Call, which I've downloaded and played that yesterday.
All right. It's Dan. It's Rodriguez. It's Dan Rodriguez. He's in the chat. What's up, our
Wait. Dan the man,
Dan the man?
Bug Snacks.
Bug Snacks. It's Bug Snacks.
So, Night Call, I saw this showing on one of the indie shows a couple of weeks ago. It's kind of like a Noir, a mystery, solving crime, detective kind of work. You're a taxi driver in France. It's in black and white. So it's got nice art style to it. What you're seeing is a board in his apartment where he has clues, and so the game, in the beginning, you get attacked by someone who's supposedly a serial killer in the town, in the city, and so once you get back to work, you get kind of blackmailed by a female detective that she knows about your history. I'm not going to go too much into it, but she knows about your history, so she kind of blackmails your character into helping her find clues, and as you're driving around town and picking up people and dropping them off, kind of ask questions and see if you can find somebody that matches, the suspects that she has, and so you start picking up clues from these people. I think there was one female that was one of the suspects, and so I ran into her, picked her up, started talking, and then she kind of like, and the game also has a great dialogue back and forth, that you can choose. So depending on what you choose, depends on how they kind of respond. You want to try to keep them engaged. So like that one female suspect, I got her to open up, and then she wanted to kind of play a game, kind of flirt around, and then that went back and forth, and then so now it led to where I gained her trust, and so I'll probably see her later on, and maybe hopefully I'll get some more clues. So as you go out each night and picking up people and this and that, you get clues, and then you go home, and then you go to your bulletin board and you kind of put some of that clues together, and so over time, I guess you'll get to a point where you have enough there to pick who you think the suspect is. So I think in the beginning there were 4 cases that you can choose. So it's very interesting. It's different. Each one's different. I think some of the characters, they rotate. So just because one character is guilty in one case doesn't mean they're also guilty in the next one. So I'll be playing that here often. I don't think it'll be too long of a game. Very interesting.
So what's going on here? Because it's kind of looks like it's kind of stuck.
Well, that's probably me because I've been,
It's Jaws. There's a shark in the water.
Aha.
Yeah. Yeah. I wish you could fast forward it. I think what I'm going to do next time is kind of pull the videos. But this is probably going to be my last time that I, stream on Mixer, of course, which we all know where that's
Yeah,
going.
I wonder why.
So I think maybe next time I'll pull the videos and kind of edit them a little bit, kind of shorten them up. So.
Okay.
But this is the beginning when you're at the doctor, you're at the hospital. So
Okay.
not much showing on there. So
I see.
Looks
Yeah,
like it has
sorry
one
about
heartbeat.
pretty much.
All right. Well,
Yeah, you'd have to fast forward it.
which I
to get
can't
to-
yet.
Yeah.
So I keep checking. To see when OBS will finally give me the ability to fast forward.
Yeah.
So
What's
all
up,
right.
Pete? From Open Every Box.
So 2 thumbs up? Long thumb?
2 thumbs up for me.
Okay. All right. Well, go to
You can
go
leave
to-
it playing in the background if you want, unless you're going to your segment, but you
Well,
can always pop it up later.
all right. I can pop it up later. I can pop it up while we're talking about other stuff and see what happens.
Yeah.
So all right. Well,
Yeah, so that's my Game Pass game of the week. I know
Okay.
there's there's so many good games. You can't go wrong. There's always something there that you can find. So
This is true.
Really can't complain. Yeah. Great,
Well.
great value.
okay. All right. Well, I'll go next because we'll save the good indie stuff for Frankie because he's got a couple of things to talk about. I got a couple of things, but it's all kind of in the same thing. So as I was starting to, let me figure out, I still haven't figured out a name. I went back and I looked at those names people were showing me, and I'm still kind of deciding upon them. So this week I'm just going to call it Mike's Retro Wayback Machine. I like that for now. Just for now. So, I wanted to go
Well, the
back.
older you get, you're gonna have to call it way back.
Yeah, I know. Mike's Retro Wayback Burgers. Now I'm hungry. No. So I wanted to. What?
Wayback Burgers.
Jake's Wayback Burgers. We have one up here by us. They're decent. They're like Gucci Fufu burgers. They're overpriced, but they're decent.
I feel like there's one of those around me. I found some random burger place, one of the cities I was delivering, and I think it was called Wayback Burgers. Sorry,
Okay.
go on.
No,
I was just
that's
thinking,
all right.
I love burgers. Burgers are good.
All right. So, as I started to get back into retro gaming and the things that I grew up on, I started to gravitate back to an old genre that I don't do a whole lot of anymore, but I did back when I was younger, and that's fighting games. And while everybody was, I played my requisite share of Street Fighter 2, and, I was okay at it. There were plenty of people much better than me. So I kind of got into Mortal Kombat and, kind of went into that direction as far as what I was doing for gaming. Until 1993. So up until 1993, every fighting game really was two-dimensional, side to side, and along came the era of polygons. So Namco brought out their first racing game that was all polygonal and three-dimensional. And we'll get. I'm gonna do a retro on retro racing games in the near future. But they kind of got started with the 3D scene. But no one had done a fighting game yet until along comes Sega. So, the famed and fabled Yu Suzuki brought a game to the arcade in 1993 that didn't have fireballs, didn't have dragon punches, it didn't have fatalities, spine rippings, and things like that.
How'd you know it was good?
Well, because I played it.
Oh, well, and there was no bouncing polygons like Dead or Alive?
Well, we hadn't
How's
gotten
that
that far
possible?
yet. We hadn't
Oh,
gotten
I
that
know.
far yet. But there were a couple of decent-looking women in the game.
Could you imagine Model 1 graphics with bouncing Dead or Alive style graphics?
No. But it
It would be
have
the
been
weirdest triangles ever.
Yes. So, anyway, the product of AM2, Sega AM2, Lockheed Martin, and an arcade board called the Model 1 gave us our first ever 3D fighting game, Virtua Fighter. Real martial arts, 3 buttons, simple punch, kick, and defend. And the thing about Virtua Fighter was it was all about timing and strategy. There were combos, but they weren't like fireball combos and Hadoukens and things like that. There were punch, 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 kick, or up and jump and things like that. So you had a number of characters, all with different fighting styles. And what you see here is the arcade version. Complete polygonal graphics. So obviously, because this was successful, it had to come home. And what better way to bring it home than Sega's home console series. So you might think that the Saturn was first up. You'd be wrong, actually. The first console to actually get a port of Virtua Fighter, and we're going to see it in a minute, is... Oh, what's going on with my video here?
You can insert some coins.
I don't know. So
It looks like me trying to play that game.
yeah, I don't know what's going on. So, so this is Pi, by the way, versus Jeffrey. Oh, come on. All right. The 32X got a port of Virtua Fighter, and it was done by the team that did Virtua Fighter. It was done by Yu Suzuki's team.
That's why it looks good.
Yeah, I'm sorry about this, guys. I don't know why this is doing this. But you can see here that the 32X really took advantage of the system power. Damn it.
It's not an NLG show without technical
I know.
difficulties.
As well as the sound effects. So we'll give you a little sound. I'm really sorry, guys. But the game was near perfect to the arcade. It was unbelievable. So, all the same moves, all the same combos and everything, all the same strategy. And while it only ran at half the frame rate, it was insanely easy to pick up and play, but hard to master.
Yep.
So, this is really bugging me.
It's going back and forth between the arcade and 32X version. Actually, it's pretty nice.
It's weird.
I see. Yeah.
Oh man. All right. You know what?
That was a graphical feat because the 32X did not have any polygonal scaling capabilities. That was all software coded.
It was. Well, but if you remember, though, the 32X had the same chipset that would eventually be in the Saturn.
Right,
The two
but it didn't have...
Hitachis.
Yeah, it did, but it was also relying on the Genesis for it to work. As I recall, one of them, I think the backgrounds were controlled by the Genesis and the characters were controlled by the 32X.
Yes, and that's how it worked.
And if you ever want to test that out, just disconnect one of the
cable.
cables.
Yeah. So
See what the 32X is actually pushing out versus the Genesis.
Yep. Hey guys, I'll tell you what we'll do, and this will make the show a little shorter. I'm going to table this and make sure that the video complete. This is the first time I've done. I don't know what's wrong with the Pinnacle Studio, but this is the first time I've had that issue with a video that I've rendered for the show. So I apologize, guys. We'll table this, and we will bring this back next week because I do very much want to talk about the evolution of how Virtua Fighter got from the arcade to the 32X to eventually the Sega Saturn, and the things that happened in the Saturn that got you Virtua Fighter Remix, Virtua Fighter 2, Virtua Fighter Kids, and Fighters Megamix. So we'll get, and I actually had a really special, you know what though? Hold on. I wonder if I could do this. Hang on a second. Let me see if.
Oh god, he's gonna pull up his Tail Fang footage again.
Hey, there was nothing wrong with Tao Fang.
Yeah,
I like how Reprobate says that's what you get for using a Game Genie.
I did not use the Game Genie. That is actual real game, sir.
I was gonna say what I'm seeing there is Sega does what Nintendo don't.
Yeah,
True.
3D. Name me a real 3D fighting game that came out at that time from Nintendo, and really, Super Smash Brothers isn't even 3D.
Killer Instinct
Was not 3D in that way. That was 2D.
And when it got to the Super NES and the N64, it really took a hit.
Yeah. I love it. I'll tell you what, Killer Instinct on the Xbox One is really good.
That is a damn good fighting game.
That is a damn
Never
good
played
fighting
it.
game.
I would love to have a Virtua Fighter 6.
I know, and we thought for sure that they were going to.
There was a rumor of it. Yeah.
Yeah, we thought for sure. Let me see if I can do this. If I
Let me
can't-
ask you this: since you're
Go ahead.
talking about the evolution, why did it have moon physics when it came to jumping?
It didn't. It only had it when you jumped before you hit the kick button. If you hit it at the same time, it did a short jump kick. So
Yeah, but in 4, I think I got it right at 4, where you jumped, and it was just a humanized style jump. It wasn't where you'd float above. It wasn't like you were doing a Spider-Man jump, you know?
Right. All right, this is going to take too long to do, so we'll table this for next week. I don't want this holding up the show when there's other things to talk about. So I'm sorry, everyone. We will. I'll make sure that this is right for next week. All right, so we're going to move on to this week. We're going to call it. Oops. Frankie's Indie Files.
Yes.
So, Frankie came to me this week and said, or actually last week before he was going to be out, and said, "Hey, instead of doing some of the sales stuff, I got some indie games that I wanted to show off, and could I do that?" And I don't know why you asked me, because it's your segment. You can do whatever the hell you want.
Well, it's a different approach than what I was doing before. So
it's okay. I still like it.
Yeah.
Still
Well,
nice.
plus two, since I wasn't here last week, this is the stuff I wanted to talk about last week. After, Chris will tell you the same thing. They had those really awesome, the Gorilla showcase. The Escapist had a showcase. I think there was another one too.
Show.
Yeah, the Future Game Show. Like, there were a lot of really awesome indie games that were shown off. So I was like, man, let me pare down a list of like 5 of them. And that was hard to do because I had a list of like 15. So I narrowed it down to like the 5 that I'm like, oh my God, I need to play these games.
All right, so let me get there. While I'm getting there, by the way, I totally missed it when you said it, and I see him in there. I want to say hi to my buddy Reprobate. It's good to see you, brother. I'm glad you're here. It's been a while. I know life is busy, so I know you don't get to catch us all the time, but it's always awesome when you're in the chat, man. So it's great to see you. Okay, tell me where you want to start.
You have the list I gave you? We're just gonna go in order.
I do
of
have
the list.
I have the list. So let's
All right,
start.
so
Let me hold on. I'll get the list up. Or do you have it?
Yeah, I got it. So we'll start
All
with
right.
Haven.
Let's start with Haven.
So Haven. So this is actually the game. I don't know if any of you played Fury. Basically, super hard boss rush game, badass music. But this is their new game. So from what I'm understanding of it, and quite honestly, I haven't dug too much into like the nitty gritty details. I've just the couple of gameplay snippets they've released. I've watched those, and I'm like, dude, this game looks awesome. So you're a couple traveling around on this planet, and it's kind of neat because as you're traveling around, you're gathering supplies. I assume there's some kind of crafting system. But as you see here, you're kind of like flying around on this planet. You encounter different enemies that are like, hostile, animals or beasts or beings that live on this planet. And it kind of stops and turns into like this turn-based strategy combat system. So you have like your characters blocking for each other while the other one will attack, and after you defeat the enemies, like you purify them or something so that they go back to like their kind of like fun and colorful whatever they were before. So like I said, I'm not fully versed in all the details about this game. I just heard the game bakers and I was like, Fury was awesome, so whatever they're making, this game is gonna be fucking awesome. So I don't know, like they're flying around here, they're gathering parts, looks like, to reassemble their ship to get out of the system. And I like how the dialogue tree flips for each character, so you're not necessarily just making the decisions for one character, but you're doing it for both, and that seems to depict what kind of scene you're gonna have while you're playing the game. So but this also will be coming to Game Pass when it comes out, so that's awesome. Chris, Game Pass.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I want to bring you in on this because I know you watched some of these. What did you think of this game?
No, I thought it looked good. I like the colors. I mean, I saw as much as you did, so I didn't really dive deep on this one. But yeah, I'm very interested in this. The dialogue, turn-based, just exploring. So
yeah,
it's up
I
my
just
alley.
I love their art style. That's like the thing from Fury. Like that game is hard as hell, but this just looks like something I could play.
Oh, yeah.
Probably
Beautiful.
not. Yeah, it's probably not gonna be too frustrating. So yeah, so that was Haven from the Game Bakers. No release date as far as I know, but like I said, Game Pass. So I assume when it comes out, Chris will be talking about it.
It has that
Yep,
Prince of
yep,
Persia
I'll definitely-
vibe to it. The remake, where everything's in that color scheme. It looks really nice.
This is the opening video, by the way.
Yeah. What's up, Invader?
Looks like an aha video.
Yep.
It's like take on. It's literally like take on me.
Yeah. I love them. I think their games are really cool. I love, like I said, their art style is just awesome. And if they have, I forget his name, Carpenter Brute, but he was one of the primary composers for Fury. Badass soundtrack, and this one just sounds so mellow, relaxing. Like I can't wait to actually dive into this game and play it when it comes out. So
There's a little of that soundtrack I'm playing. Here, I'll let you guys. You know what? I'll share the screen so you guys can catch a little bit of that soundtrack too. I like it.
yeah, I'm excited. This game's gonna be cool when it comes out. So I feel like this is their developer that I feel like they made really awesome games, so they should probably be on someone's radar. I haven't seen a whole lot of conversation about this game, so that's the thing with a lot of these games is I feel like these developers either I've never heard of them, some of them are newer, but like a couple of them that we're going to talk about made games that are way under everyone's radar that were just fucking awesome. So like I said, that's Haven. They see there, come to Game Pass. Hell yeah.
All right.
So up next,
by the way, welcome in Captain Blues Tech. Hold on. Next one is No Place for Bravery.
Yes, sir.
All right.
This is a nice short trailer. So this is the new game from, I could be wrong, but I think it's the guys that made Cosmic Star Heroine. But this is like your kind of classic looking, like old school Legend of Zelda type of exploration and combat. So the thing that just grabbed me about this was just the style of the game. I love how, the art style, the level design. There's a point in here where they like throw a sword and it tears through all the grass, and it just the way that the battle system looks like it works in this game is just, it has me so excited to play it. So this trailer I think is only for like a minute or something. It was really short.
Ganon looks pissed.
Yeah, he always does.
I think I got a longer trailer than that, so you can talk
you
for a
found
second.
Longer one?
I think I did.
Cool. Nice. I only saw the minute clip they showed in the show, but yeah, just the art style, like I said, looks awesome. Get the blood splatters everywhere. Like I said, Cosmic Star Heroine was a really cool game. So I kind of like their approach. Like they're making games that are more retro focused. So yeah, I did not see any of this. So this is awesome.
Yeah, this is a 6-minute video. You're good.
No, hell yeah, dude.
So,
but yeah, it looks
Open
like
Every Box says reminds him of Children of Morta.
Crazy Ones loves that game. I haven't played it yet. But yeah, like I said, you're kind of going through. You have these big dudes with shields, so it looks like you're kind of like pacing around, waiting for them to swing, and that's your moment to strike. So I don't know, man. Just the art, like I said, art style, music, everything about this game looks awesome. Love that developer. So this game is definitely on my radar. No idea when it comes out. Anyone else have any thoughts on this one, Chris, Peter?
Is it coming to the Switch?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
I feel like that's one of the systems I saw it for.
Lots of blood.
Lots of blood.
Yeah.
Little Joe Toonish.
Yeah.
A little bit.
That was gonna be my my Xbox sale pick this week was Joe Toon, by the way. So.
Oh yeah. I forgot that Heutink came out on the Xbox. That's such a I'll pimp that game. If people haven't tried it yet, it is so beautiful. So did Sundered come out on the Xbox?
Sundered is also on sale on Xbox for $4.99.
All right, I might have to pick up Sundered because
Sundered it's different.
I'm sure it is, but I trust Thunder Lotus.
It's fair. I can't wait to play their new game, Spiritfarer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're like a ferryman for like Purgatory. I don't know. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it is cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dinero.
I did not see all this. Is awesome. Yeah. This game's gonna be cool.
Yeah. So I'm assuming this is digital only.
Very likely, unless Limited Run also does a physical version. I know they did one for Cosmic Star, so very likely they'll work with them again. All right. So next, this game.
All right, hold on, let me get it.
This one is actually available right now on the Switch.
All right, let's see what it is.
Scourge?
No, Liberated.
Okay, it must have downloaded before that. All right, Liberated.
So this one grabbed me just based on how this game plays. It almost reminds me of Comic Zone from the Genesis, but you're basically playing through a comic book. So, like, as you're going through all these different panels, you know, you're getting into firefights. You know, there's just all kinds of cool looking shit going on. And I don't know, like I didn't even realize that this game was already out, you know, because it was on one of these indie shows just a couple weeks ago, and it's out on the Switch right now. It's $20.
Yep.
So I gotta pick that up at some point. I gotta find my Switch. I don't know who has it right now, but yeah, I mean, I don't know if this plays out like episodically as you're playing through different issues. I don't know if it's, you know, like a full game right out the bat, or if, you know, it's kind of like
it came out on the 2nd.
Yeah. Yeah, it was beginning of the month. Can't believe it's already almost July. It's terrible.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's nuts. But yeah, it's almost kind of like this. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I just said, where's my summer?
It's here. I feel it.
Okay.
Awful.
So.
Oh, you stay inside air conditioning, you never even notice it.
I wish I had that option. But yeah, so like I said, this game just looked awesome. Like I'm a big comic book person, so, you know, seeing something like this, you know, like I said, it reminded me of Comic Zone, you know, and just the weird kind of like black and white noir style of game, almost like Limbo.
I like
inside.
Those. Yeah, the other one, White Knight. Remember White Knight?
White Knight was
that
awesome.
was so good. I can't believe there's no. I can't believe there's no sequel for that.
Gato Roboto.
Yep, Gato Robot. I mean, yeah, I'm into these noir games.
Yeah, they're cool. So yeah, this one, like I said, out right now on the Switch. I think it's coming to Xbox and PS4 at some point. Maybe it's already out. What do I know? But it's definitely not on the Switch. So if you have one, buy this game. It looks awesome. I'm buying it. I'll probably have something to say about it soon.
Okay. All right.
Yes. So this game.
Now are we going to?
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
So low key, this has become one of my favorite developers, Flying Oak Games. So there's a game called Nero Voider. It's a twin stick roguelike shooter, and it's hard as hell, but super addicting. The controls are phenomenal. You know, you're kind of going through, you get all these ridiculous weapon pickups. So you have all these different, like, you know, your legendaries are glitched weapons. So it's like weapons that will fire 2 weird ass shots of something, or a giant shockwave, or just something completely ridiculous. But anywho, so Nero Voider's awesome. If you haven't played that, it's on everything. Please play that game. Peter, I think it was in what's a Humble Bundle. So I think you probably have it on PC. Along with like 8,000 other games.
Maybe. What was it called again, you said?
Nero Voider. So
it's like a cross between Mega Man and Super Metroid.
It's possible.
Yeah,
exactly. Possible that's the one that I did not pick up.
Peter, you bastard.
Maybe there were other ones that were slightly better.
Doubtful. Super doubtful. But anywho, so Scourgebringer is their new game that is, I think it just hit early access earlier this year. Has one of the best EULA like notifications when you fire the game up. You know, like everyone has like all their legal shit in there, and they put like a recipe for a cheeseburger or something on theirs. It's fucking hilarious. But I know they just announced that they just released, I think, another update to the early access build. And they confirmed it'll be coming to Switch and Xbox when it hits consoles. So
Yeah, the what I got was from Xbox Game Pass. So you see the Microsoft. So it's
fuck
it's
yeah. So it's going to Game Pass.
Yep.
Shit yeah. So that's a good get. I love that studio. Like their last game was awesome. So I love how particular they are about the controls. So this game looks like it plays awesome. I bought it on Steam, not knowing that it was going to come to console at some point. So I do have it. I probably should check out, the early access build, but I'm kind of wishy-washy on early access stuff just because, I don't want to play something and then feel like I've experienced it. Then it finally comes out 2 years later. Oh, the full version's here. And it's like, well, I already played most of it. So
Yeah.
I tend to just like waiting, but I really wanted to check it out at the time just to kind of get a feel for the gameplay. But yeah, like you said, heavy Metroid vibes.
slicker than an oil spill.
It just their sense of humor is really cool. So I definitely, like I said, if you haven't played Narrow Voider, Peter, you bastard, download it. Buy it on whatever platform you're playing your games on. I don't care. Narrow Voider, buy it. It's great. So Scourgebringer is their next game, and it does. This looks awesome. I cannot wait to play this.
I like this. It's kind of got a couple of different looks for me, like the little bit of guacamole type gameplay mixed with Curse of the Moon.
There you go. Yeah.
Which, by the way, I know they announced the Bloodstained Curse of the Moon 2. Which means now I got to go back and beat Curse of the Moon since I beat Ritual of the Night.
So you're in the same boat as I am. I never beat Curse of the Moon.
I liked Ritual of the Night better. I don't know why.
It's Symphony of the Night. That's why.
No, not Symphony. No.
It's Ritual of the Night.
Yes, Ritual of the Night. Symphony of the Night is Castlevania, which
I know.
may as well have been. I mean, it's the same. It's the same people. So, anyway, all right.
So, lastly, this game caught my attention strictly because of the trailer. Not only because of the trailer, but because of the narrator. So, the sense of humor that I assume this game has is just, it's right up my alley. So, from what I'm gathering, this is sort of like, what's that damn card game everyone like? Slay the Spire. So, it's turn-based battles, but you have like cards that you're, determine the attacks of your current party. And it's a roguelike, so, your character dies, start over. But it seems like the way that they're approaching this game, if you listen to the audio in this, listen to the narrator talking about, like, oh, he's going through explaining the heroes, and then, you keep dying, and he's like, God, these guys are really fragile. So, they go through this ridiculous montage, and, finally they get a combination that gets him through the battle, and he's like, oh, finally. Didn't think we were going to get past that. So just the sense of humor alone pulled me in. So that's what I'm really interested in seeing, with this game, is if, we have the same type of like overworld narrator talking about stuff going on throughout the game as you're playing it. But also I've kind of hit that point where, the whole card battle system thing is kind of appealing to me, just because it's interesting to kind of sit there and mess around with. But yeah, so the style of this game looks awesome. Just the different, the art style looks great. I love the, the little animations they have for each, the attacks and whatnot. The enemies look really goofy. So yeah, this just looks ridiculously dumb, and I love it. So this is another one that I'm super excited to get my hands on when it comes out.
Yeah, I love that.
I actually do have the game.
Play
I
it.
just found it in my
This
list.
one's already out?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
It
Yeah,
could be, for all I know.
Well, I love how, of course you got your cards, but the background you see the characters battling it out. I
Yeah.
love that. I think I saw
Oh,
a
there
couple
we
other
go.
games like this.
There we go. Xbox,
Also show.
PS4, Nintendo Switch.
Steam. We do actually, yeah. Good stuff.
So
The only thing that's missing is sonograms, you know?
Toasters, refrigerators.
The Nintendo toaster, like the AVGN has.
I want one of those, and my wife laughed at me when I told her it was a real thing, so I had to pull up a video of him using that thing. She was like, "Are you kidding me?" I was like, "Nope, it's real. I want one."
It's a Nin toaster.
Yes. Well, that's what you tell people what a Raspberry Pi is, and they're like, "What?" No.
So yeah,
Cool.
those are just a couple. Like I said, there are a ton of games shown, a lot of really cool indie stuff coming out. But the thing that really like grabbed me with all this is like Xbox is really getting a lot of these now that Scourgebringer. I don't even know when that's coming to a PlayStation platform. So I like the fact that it seems like Microsoft's getting in there and kind of trying to pull more indies on their platform. I love them. I know, coming into this generation, indie games are kind of frowned upon. Everyone's like, oh, they're just garbage indie games, blah, blah, blah. But they've become the lifeblood of these consoles, quite honestly.
My Switch is filled with them.
Yeah, mine too. Like for the longest time, that was my go-to platform for them because it's a good handheld. So you're laying around the house, you're like, cool, I'll fire something up.
Amongst other rooms.
Yeah, exactly.
Profit-
I took it by.
I'm sorry.
go
What's
ahead.
up, Prophet?
I was going to say, Prophet says Titanfall 2 is alive again on PC.
Wow.
Yeah, I heard
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Well, because it
Oh, yeah.
came to Steam, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should probably finish that game on the PS4.
Probably should.
That's a great.
That's a cool game.
Yeah, it's got a great story. It's got a great single player campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I
Yeah.
loved the first Titanfall for the multiplayer, the second one had a dynamite campaign.
Mm-hmm.
That's all
So,
this one
third
had.
first-person shooters have been giving me migraines for years. So, I was playing it for a while, and then I just put it down. And I never went back to it. It's been ages.
That's fair.
Yeah.
My
All
wife
right.
has a hard time too. Like if I'm playing a first-person shooter, she can't look at the screen because she starts to get like motion sickness.
Yeah.
But it's
That-
also
that
my
just
fault.
started happening in the last decade. It's the weirdest thing. Getting
Well,
older
that's why-
sucks.
Yeah, it does. That's why you just
Roblox gets me dizzy when my daughter plays it. Can't
Mike
watch that
plays Roblox like a pro though.
Yeah.
Mike's
Daily.
son plays
No.
Roblox.
Yeah, that's what they all say.
As long as he's helping my gamer score, I don't care.
That's fair. That's a good
Same thing with
point.
my daughter.
That's
So-
a great point.
Hey, by the way, we interrupt this broadcast to bring you a trailer that I totally forgot about. In case anybody is potentially interested in this small little indie game coming out of Europe.
Wait,
That's
I'm
right.
sure.
That was today. I forgot about this.
Yes, this is a brand new trailer for Cyberpunk.
I hope you
Will
grab
be
the trailer.
released in 2077.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The major leagues.
You should grab the
Rolling
trailer
Jets
for
pulling the
Biomutant.
strings. Doubt that puts us in the same league as them, but we are.
It's November.
That game actually gonna come out?
I think it's going to.
Yeah.
Which one? Biomutant?
Biomutant.
Yeah, watch the trailer.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to catch it.
You know, you
Like,
can make
grab it.
heaps more eddies.
Man, I can't wait till this game.
And
I've
this
completely ignored anything related to this. Now I have to find out. What's it coming
That was
out
funny.
on?
Everything.
How about we go over the plan?
Oh, good.
PS4, Xbox One, Series X, PS5, PC.
Not the
Switch
Switch.
yet.
Belongs to a
Not
Not
yet.
the Switch, exactly.
That's
That's
till
what
Iron Galaxy
We're
gets a
riding
hold
some
of it.
heavy hitters.
Thought you could
Yeah.
blackmail me, fucker?
High risk, high
Ooh.
reward.
Ooh.
First rule of the afterlife. Ka-ching, baby.
Goes without saying, we do this on the hush. Ideally, no bodies, not a one.
It is
Sounds
first
simple
person.
enough.
well, that probably won't be very good with it.
Is it gonna be dangerous?
Don't you worry, mi amor. We're bulletproof.
What the fuck just happened in there?
Can't stop
Oh.
being Night City.
Fucking major leagues. Happy now, Jackie?
Oh,
my God,
no!
it's so
Hopefully, nobody's kids are watching this show.
It's very mild in comparison with The Last of Us.
Dix, what the fuck?
That's true.
Can't risk it, B.
And you, who are you?
Yeah. Now, grab that Biomutant
Yeah.
one.
I'll grab it.
If my kids are watching, they'll be quick to tell me it was inappropriate.
They probably are heading in now, unless they're asleep. So
They're
it is
probably
10:50. It is 5 of 11. Hopefully, so yeah. I was gonna grab the Night City Wire. I mean, but that's 20 minutes. That was like 20 minutes. So
yeah.
I have not seen that long one.
I have not either. So, but yeah, I thought I'd show you guys that. That was you know. So the other thing which we could probably talk about next week, since is give everybody a chance to watch that trailer for the Avengers gameplay, because they got 2 new gameplay.
2?
Yeah, the co-op Warzone and then some of the single player. So
The single player with Thor
and Modok as the villain. Which kind of surprised everybody. So it had it well, we'll see. Yeah, it had Thor. It had I mean, I can bring it up. It's not that long of a trailer.
No, I was just asking because I didn't realize there were two trailers. I just saw this one.
There's actually 3. There's the there's this one, there's the co-op war zones, and then there's the story trailer. So this was captured from a pre-release build, but it won't tell you from where. So I gotta tell you though, the fact that Crystal Dynamics is in on this game it has me extremely interested. I love Crystal Dynamics.
Hey, it's a Transformer.
Yeah. Might be a GoBot, Jay.
No way. Has to be a Transformer. Looks like Long Haul.
Hey,
Only yellow.
It's not Bumblebee?
No.
No, it's Disney. They probably own Transformers.
Keep rolling, keep rolling.
Yeah,
Not yet. They don't have
everything else.
Hasbro just yet.
Yeah, they own everything else.
Is it any coincidence that this attack comes on the very day that AIM is supposed to unveil their promising new Aptoid program?
Man, this part was cool.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Felix, fix it.
I do love me some Thor.
Thank you.
The first time I ever saw the Thor movie, the first thing he couldn't pick up his hammer. It wasn't worth it yet.
Right.
And the only thing I could think of the entire time I was in the theater was this guy's George Costanza. Everything he's ever done in his whole life is wrong. He needs to do the opposite in order to be able to lift that hammer.
Where the hell did you come from?
And that's what he does. That's what he ended up doing.
I knew nothing about the character when I saw the movie, except he couldn't lift his hammer. So.
Doesn't matter. He's here now.
Yeah,
so
Costanza, he became an employee of the New York Yankees.
Right.
Yeah.
I love the hammer movements though, like the various attacks.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like the Wolverine style, where you had which was basically God of War, where you had the heavy and the light attacks, and you can mix them up.
Yep, and then you can throw. I mean, it does look nice. Back from the Dead says, he's curious, are the Avengers shown in the trailer the only playable ones? And thank you, Anthium. No, it's just this particular trailer.
Now there's 6 of them, right? That you can play as.
Because I know you can play as Iron Man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hello.
No.
Hello.
Just like old times.
AIM dropships inbound.
I see them.
The final boss is Walt Disney.
It's the robot chicken.
Niall. Nice one. I mean, this is pretty cool. I'm down for this.
I'm gonna replay that game on the PS3.
Which one?
Wolverine, X-Men Wolverine for the PS3.
Yeah, just play the Thor game on PS3. It isn't very good.
Chimera's still losing out.
Why would I want to play it then?
But I do have X-Men Wolverine.
Tear the ship apart.
Why would you want to play it? So you can say you played it.
That's not always the right move.
Trust me, it's not. 100% it's not.
So is this game also playable in PSVR?
No. That'd be cool though. I am getting the Iron Man VR next Friday though.
Yeah.
They really dropped the ball not having like an Iron Man stylized headset.
No, they
yeah,
did,
that would've been
but
cool.
that would have been cool. Did you happen to play the demo, Frankie?
I don't have a VR headset.
I thought you did.
No, remember I said I wanted to get another one, but now I'm worried that I'm at that stage where if I buy one, they're gonna announce the next iteration like 2 weeks later, because that's what happens to me all the time.
I didn't realize that you had gotten rid of it.
I got rid of it when we moved, because I really don't have room in here, you know, it's like...
Gotcha. No, the Iron Man, the demo was legit. There he is.
Yeah, little Nolan North.
Is that Nolan North?
Yep. I think it's like the trio. It's like William Billingham is the voice of Thor.
Right.
Laura Bailey is the voice of Widow. Nolan North's Iron Man. I forget who else I got in there. Troy Baker's, I think, the Hulk.
Got my hands full, kid. I'm on them.
Alright, so this does look a little repetitive though. So
Oh yeah.
we can move on. But I thought this was, I mean, I'm interested. I'm definitely interested.
Yeah. Like you said, it's Crystal Dynamics, so I'm coming in because the story's probably gonna be pretty good.
I would imagine so. Well, here's the story trailer. This isn't going to take too long. Yes, I know but that was PlayStation's got the marketing for this, guys. Sorry.
When I was young,
Why are you apologizing? How dare you?
I don't know. Just in case. We'll offend somebody.
I felt if I could instill rules, the proper boundaries, I could harness the raw power of that beast.
Ooh.
A few months later, while hunting, the adolescent cub turned on me.
I hope they have like a
Fixing the damage
Infinity
the
War
Avengers
moment
did all
with
those
Captain
years ago.
America.
Inhumans are sick. Unlimited power, that's dangerous. It's lethal. You are lucky to be alive. Come on, Kamala. Let AIM help you.
Oh, there he is.
I'll take my chances.
Damn, she's
The
got
Avengers
super
were
arms.
set up. I think you should see for yourself.
That would be so useful when I was a kid to bother my sister and then claim I'm not.
I'm sorry. Who are you? This better be good.
Is that an old Tony Stark?
Son of a...
Have you all completely lost your senses?
Where were
Probably.
you while the world went to hell?
This is our fault.
Oh, it's Bruce.
All of ours.
That's a much better Bruce Banner.
think the world is better without us?
Yes.
Troy
It's always
Baker.
been your problem. Running from who you are, what you are. I am warning you.
This is exactly what Tarleton wants!
You struggle against the unstoppable.
I guess that's Miss Marvel.
Progress, Avengers. Power cannot be controlled. It has to be destroyed.
Alright, this might be a stupid question. What's with all the extra Hulks?
I think that's just one Hulk.
So he's the bad guy in this one? I thought he was one of the Avengers.
Oh, that's not Hulk.
Oh,
That's
no. That's Mordok, yeah.
Oh, okay. Can you tell I don't really follow this too much?
Yeah. Oh,
What's
play
the
the
name
beta
of
first on PS4.
One of the
That's why.
movies, the Hulk movies? Mordok?
I haven't watched.
I don't.
No.
No,
I don't
No, not that I'm aware of.
I don't think he's been in any movie. He's always been in Marvel vs. Capcom games. That's like the only thing I know him from.
Abomination was in the Incredible Hulk.
God, ass.
And then the first one was his father turned into a,
Thunderbolt.
Yeah, and then a rock monster. So,
Yeah.
all right.
Rock monster.
No Mickey Mouse boss fight. I want to kill you. Haha. Okay.
I should play Castle of Illusion again.
Oh, those are so good. And a World of Illusion.
Yeah. Quackshot
Okay.
Duck. Mickey Mania.
Yes. Quackshot was really good. See, now I may have to go back and I'm gonna write that down as one of my retros, one of my upcoming retros. Now you got, because I've got all of them. I've got that.
So
I've got Going Quackers on the Dreamcast.
I do not have that one.
All right, Disney retro. Writing that down in the book.
Howard the Duck. Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, Howard the Duck.
Lion King, Aladdin.
No.
Yeah, get Mike on.
Yeah, well, we had him on.
Yeah, get him on and talk just about those games.
Okay.
He worked on those, right? Or was that Tommy?
No, he worked on the remakes. Tommy worked on the original soundtracks, but he worked on worked on the remakes. So, okay. Now.
DuckTales. Yeah, that was a great game. And the remake.
Yeah, the remaster was good.
Wilbur from Mr. Ed was the voice of Scrooge McDuck.
Nice.
Yes. Yes, he was.
Put that Biomutant trailer.
I don't have the Biomutant trailer yet.
Go find it.
Oh my God. No, it's
Look,
time.
no.
It's time to hear
Don't
from Peter.
exist. It's not coming out.
It's time to hear from Peter.
Chris, it's coming out. It says so in the trailer. It's coming out when it's done.
As soon as I find what I'm looking for. Okay.
Yeah, I don't
so,
believe trailers.
You still haven't found what you're looking for?
Yes, here's what we're going to do. So, I want to get Peter and Frankie's impressions of The Last of Us 2.
Without spoilers.
Here's what we're going to... Yeah, so here's how we're going to do this. If you do not want to hear anything spoily, now's a good time to just mute, and I'll give you like the okay signal when it's time to turn your sound back on. I will also only leave the logo on. We do not have any video footage. We will not play any video, so you are welcome to just look at Angry Ellie, because everybody knows about that. And so, well, she's a little pissed off, it looks like. So I have
Maybe
been
she just
very,
got heard.
Well, maybe. I am very interested in your guys' opinions, considering everything that I have read. I will, for full disclosure, I have been having a heck of a time bringing myself to want to play this game. I have literally seen people type, "I have finished the game. I need to make an appointment with my therapist." I have seen.
Maybe
people...
they should have had to do that before they play the game too. You don't know.
I mean, this game has messed some people up. I have read reviews that have said this is not fun. That, you know, one guy who wrote a review for it said, "I wanted to stop playing." I mean, this doesn't, but then said 10 out of 10. So, you know.
Well, every media said it was 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Except for the Japanese.
Well.
IGN, 10 out of 10. Japanese IGN, 7 out of 10.
Well, maybe they know something.
Oh, the average dose, and then, you got probably at a good number.
So, all right. So mute if you got it. And then Peter and Frankie, take it away and tell me what I'm missing.
Well, let's see. It's I'm not quite sure how far I'm in the story. I mean, so far it's awesome. I'm ahead of Frankie, I believe. There's some. It's kind of hard to talk about this game without giving major spoilers. But
Did you just finish the first game?
yes, I did finish the first game.
Recently,
which I did
so it's
too.
still
Very
pretty,
recent.
pretty
Still
fresh in your mind.
pretty fresh, and it's kind of cool because when you play the second one, you see when you're like in Ellie's room and stuff, you see certain artifacts that are from the first game and stuff. It's very good, very nice, nice detail.
So, let me just ask you a question. So, because I don't remember the first game that well because I was playing The Witcher with it because The Witcher is way better. But the combat, how with this game, the combat system feels more. What's the word I want to use? I don't even know. My brain doesn't work anymore. But the combat in this game feels really refined. I feel like in the past, Naughty Dog games have always had a really shitty melee system.
Yeah.
But I don't remember the first Last of Us, so I don't remember how all the weapons work. I know the gun thing, when your ammo's out and the enemies are here that click, they'd be like, "Oh, you're out of ammo," and then they'd rush you. But I don't remember how everything felt playing that versus how good it feels with this one.
Well, with the second one, now you can dodge. I don't remember it doing in the first game.
You couldn't.
No dodging. So now when they attack you, you have another opportunity to dodge and then hack and slash them if you go that route. But also the weapons are more refined. So I don't think in the first one you had a silencer. Now you do, which a silencer is like a when you craft silencers are craftable and they only last for 5 shots. Really, you have to.
You probably
count
upgraded
shots.
that.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, you start with 3 for the shots before they break.
And but still same principle, and it's you have to count your shots because I always forget my shots. So it's you kind of pop enemies pop very very quiet, and then all of a sudden bang because you used to be a silencer, and all of a sudden all hell will break loose. So far, I've noticed that the people you travel with are pretty good in helping out with that. Including if you want to do stealth knife kills and stuff. But when you use your silencer, they do not use their silencer, so you have to kind of watch out. Kind of go loud. The story so far is awesome. I typically don't like when you play the main character and it switches to another character. In the first one, it was pretty even. You play as Joel and you play as Ellie, and both are very important characters, so I didn't have much of issues with that. Going back to The Witcher 3 that you preferred, I really hated playing as Ciri because she was not a major part, and it was very jarring to me. So so now in The Last of Us Part 2, you play as Joel, as Ellie, and then you also play as some other characters as well. Kind of mixed feelings right now. It's finally get together why those characters are really more kind of important at that point. But yeah, it's so far so good.
So treading into slight spoiler grounds.
Mm-hmm.
So with the way that the story has gone so far, and I don't know if I know as you're exploring the world, there's a lot of stuff that's, if you're not exploring, there's a lot of things you're going to miss out on.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, you'll go in this building and find something that'll trigger a little cutscene or a memory or something.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel where the hell was I going with this? My brain is just fried at this point. I feel with this one, as you're kind of exploring and figuring out all these different things. Where the fuck was I going with this? God damn, dude. My God, I am so tired. let's see. Oh, now I remember. I was kind of gonna ask you, probably, maybe. So like, I feel like there's a lot of things like you're finding in like safes and stuff that are like things that upgrade like your holster, things that.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, are you like you found? I assume you found the bow. You found the instructions to craft explosive arrows.
Explosive arrows, yes.
Those are fun. I love those.
And also, like, you're talking about safes. Obviously, you can guess the codes to the safe, but there are some other locations where you can find the code as like notes, or they might even be in different buildings, or things where you have to puzzle it together what the date is. Where you hear like, oh yeah, our anniversary was 30 years ago.
Yep.
Okay, figure out the the code for the safe. Opening up the safe is just typing in that, or filling in that number, and it opens up the safe. So there's no like kind of a mini game in opening up that safe. Thank goodness.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of that stuff though, and maybe it's just the way that the game's designed, but a lot of it feels kind of off the beaten path. Like if you're exploring, you'll find that stuff. I mean, I don't know, because I don't know if you just beeline for kind of where the game wants you going.
I explore everything. I even have there's a way to, in the accessibility settings, to I forgot what it's called. Maybe it's I don't know if it's called high contrast or something like that. But basically, it will definitely highlight the collectibles and stuff in like bright yellow, and your enemies are easy to spot and stuff. So what I do is like I go in a room, I do my thing, then I turn on the high contrast thing, and it's like, oh wait, there's a tiny little speck of a coin that I would have missed, for instance.
So wait, so the coins, are those Abby's collectibles?
Those are Abby's collectibles.
Okay, I was like, I haven't seen any coins yet, so I don't know if...
And only like 5 coins for the Cheeto. I don't know if there
that's
are
good.
more coins, I don't know. But they're all like pretty much in the same section when you play as Abby.
So I probably haven't missed them yet. So the thing, I remember I was going there earlier. So the way that the story goes, like, you're playing, you have Dina with you, and like you have Ellie and her interacting, and they keep referencing like the kiss from the trailer we saw, whenever the hell that was.
Mm-hmm.
But it hasn't happened. Like I haven't seen a cutscene with like a flashback to that or anything. Like, have you?
Well, the whole thing is like the major flashbacks. Like you were asking me before the show, like, are you still? What day are you on? I said, I'm back to day 1, because it's like you play as Ellie current day, then you go back to also to Ellie when she's younger, before the events, and then you have your day 2 and day 3, and then all of a sudden you're back to day 1 playing as Abby. So it's like you kind of back and forth, and you kind of puzzle that together, and then you kind of get the whole feeling of like what went down. And now I'm to the point where I know why Abby was an important character in this story.
Right.
So.
Yeah. That kind of bothered me at first, because you're playing as her, and it's like you have no idea. Like,
yeah, at the beginning it was very like, why am I playing this?
Yeah.
It felt like Siri in the Richard 3. It's like, I don't want to play her, no. And then all of a sudden there's a part where you're playing as her and not as Joel. It's like, oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And granted, we talked a little bit before release, like, went over some of the spoilers that we had seen before. And honestly, the spoilers are what made me interested in this game.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like only because we'd known the spoilers, like when we started playing as Abby, we kind of knew where that was going. So you kind of knew like the importance of like her character, and what she would end up doing as far as like one of the big key plot points of the game. But like, I don't know, it bothered me at first playing the game, and like you're going through these motions, you're getting all these references to events that either if you were not somebody following this game in any way, shape, or form, you're just like playing it for the first time, and just because you've heard of it and you somehow avoid the internet and live under a rock, like the whole thing with them kind of talking about the kiss, and yet unless you saw that trailer at E3 or whatever, you have no idea what it is.
Right.
With Abby, you start playing as her. Like, who the hell? Like you said, who the hell is this person? Like, it bothered me at first that was the route they were going to go with this game, because I was like, they did this with Uncharted 2. Like we've already done the whole. This is like what's going on, but now they're kind of doing it where it feels like you're playing more like in the current timeline and then kind of going back and experiencing some small things. But it kind of feels disjointed to me. You know what I mean? Like there's clearly like Joel and Ellie's relationship got weird at some point, and you're kind of slowly starting to get the gaps filled in.
Right.
But at the same time, it's just you don't fully understand like where, like, okay, well this happened, but why am I finding out about this now?
Well,
like,
and also like if you play this game, what you said, like as a beeline to get as quickly from to the end, you miss a bunch of stuff too. The conversations that they're having and stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
exactly.
too, coming out of the first game, you don't. And all right, so.
Also, if you play that little DLC piece, you have a little bit more background too.
You understand
about Elliot's,
Yeah. So look I'm just gonna lay this out here because I never get to. I feel like I never get to say anything and potentially offend somebody, so I stay quiet.
Mike, you talk plenty. What are you talking about?
Well, I'm just talking about I don't lay my feelings out about stuff in public very often because God forbid my opinion is not right.
Let me block you already.
See, and Peter's gonna quit after the show.
He's avoiding his contract.
I've had my struggle with playing it is I have some fundamental issues with the game. And some of the choices made to make this game, and one of them was, if you didn't play the DLC that Peter was referring to, then the trailer with the kiss makes absolutely no sense. The DLC kind of shoehorned that piece of Ellie, to me, into making it what happens in 2. Now, if it does it for the purposes of advancing the story of The Last of Us and I don't think I'm spoiling anything for anybody who didn't play the first one by who played the first one by saying that Ellie is kind of the key to the survival of the world, and the whole reason that she's alive in the second game are choices that Joel made that adversely, I'm assuming, affect in the second game while Ellie's still alive. Because, no, Michael, she didn't. And that's the whole point. That's why we have a part 2, is because her...
Yeah, that's not a spoiler that she didn't die in the first one, because now we have part 2.
Right, right. She's right there in the logo. So... I just, and that's what I've been struggling with, and that's why I was really looking at you guys for what the story was really.
I think that DLC was a good tie-in between the main part 1 and part 2. So otherwise, part 2 is like, whoa, what just happened? Now at least you kind of be aware of, and also like. Even in the first game, after you play the DLC, it's like, oh yeah, certain comments that you meant about her, that one friend, kind of makes sense.
Right.
So it's like, oh yeah, okay.
It does. I'm no doubt it does. I just, to me, and I said this while we were playing it. I said, wow, I know where this is going and why. What's the So, I'm not a do this to check the box kind of guy. It needs to be meaningful, and it needs to, especially since what I keep hearing is the game's not fun. And at my age, I like fun games. So if I don't feel like I'm going to enjoy the game, then why would I play it? So
why would anybody play a game that's not fun? Doesn't that defeat the whole purpose of a game?
Well, but this is what I wanted, because if anybody can talk me into fun not equaling enjoyment, it would be one of these two guys. Because
I'm having fun playing this game. I mean,
Okay.
I've been playing like every
Okay.
night since it came out.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't know if it
I'm-
goes,
I'm-
sour like after a certain point. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I don't know exactly where I'm at.
Okay.
Apparently,
fair.
I'm not anywhere close. So I don't know.
Well, let me
But
ask
so
you this:
far,
would
it's
you
really good.
replay
They're
the game
definitely,
when
like-
it's done?
Say again.
Would you replay the game,
Would I replay the game? Well,
or
depends
would you
what else
be
is on my
would you be
plate.
completely done with it and never look back at it until maybe the third one comes out? I don't know if there's a third one or not.
I mean, with single player games, I
Yeah.
don't typically go back and replay them unless
I don't either.
I want to get like full completion and I miss some objectives, for instance. I would do that. Go back to certain chapters, for instance. But otherwise, like single player games, I don't really go back.
I don't either. Once you're done,
had-
you're done.
I think so. This is one of the things that kind of changed the way that I think about games that I would like wholeheartedly recommend to people. Was I forget which idiot journalist it was, but they were losing their shit because their Breath of the Wild save got wiped or something, and that happening to them took that game from being their game of the year to a game that they would not recommend to anybody. So it got me thinking, like, if you're playing a game that you can't see yourself replaying at some point in time, either just to go back and re-experience the story or go back and just, maybe there's some more stuff I could have explored that I missed out on. Like, well, Breath of the Wild, like, there's a shit ton of that. Like, that game is all whatever the hell you're going to do in that game is that game. So, like, hearing someone say, like, yeah, I mean, I spent 80 hours in that game. I wouldn't do it again. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, man, I would replay The Witcher 3 in a heartbeat if I had the time.
Right now, it would be the same thing with The Last of Us Part 2. If my save game would get corrupted, I would start from
the
beginning and play.
To me, like, that is the sign that the game itself is good. If you're playing it and something happens to your save file and you're like, you know what, that's totally fine. And it happened with Battle Chasers Night War, and I was playing it for review. Like, the pre-release build of that game on the PS4 was a fucking mess. Like, it would constantly crash, and it hit a point where I was probably 40 hours in, and my save file was toast. And I was like, you know what, that's fine. And that's a game I've restarted several times on several platforms. And but anyways, that's a whole different thing. But
No, but it's relevant to my question because and let me preface by saying that when I say fun, I don't mean necessarily windjammers or an arcade game or something like that. I guess for me, fun means enjoyment, means exactly what you guys, would I invest the time?
Is it fun to shoot a dog? No, but because the dog's in the game, for instance.
Yeah, but you do that in the Division, so.
Yeah, I mean, if I get attacked, I don't, saying like, "Oh, come here, let's play fetch," So I mean, it's like it's still, the story. It's and the rest is still fun. I mean,
okay,
Mike.
And that's the thing is that this game, the combination, because it's not like you said, this is not a windjammers, not that type of game. So it's a different type of fun.
Yeah.
Hey,
So,
even the game
it's
Blur, I had fun playing it. Most people said F that game.
Well, look, it's like parts of Star Trek Bridge Crew are a slog, but I had a great time playing it. And when I played it with Blues Tech and Jago on Saturday or Sunday, whenever we played it, it didn't matter if it was a slow moving kind of, all right, well, it's a little boring in this time. That's my, fun. Fun doesn't necessarily mean clowny, joy-y, smiley kind of stuff. It just has to be. I have to be able to pick up the controller and go, I really want to play this. I'm really enjoying this.
That's the problem. If a game becomes a chore, I would not consider it fun.
Yeah.
People love the Wind Waker, but that game I had to fight myself to actually finish, and I've never played it since.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like for this game, the thing is, do you enjoy the experience? Does the story keep you engaged to want to continue going? That's the whole point of this game, right? I mean, there's the mechanics and all that. Yeah, there's going to be some things you may not like, but overall, it seems like you and Frankie and Peter are enjoying this game for everything. You may not like everything about it.
I'm not playing it yet. That's why I'm.
Yeah. So, Mike, let me ask you, like the first game, would you say you had fun playing that game?
I enjoyed that game.
Okay, so here's the thing: and granted, I don't put any stock in reviews. I haven't read any reviews because I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit what other people who are getting paid to play the game think of the game. I don't care. So for me, I've talked about before. I didn't really care for the first game that much. I attribute a lot of that to me playing The Witcher 3 at the same time I was trying to play through The Last of Us, but I didn't really care for the first game. This game, like Peter has talked about, just the way that you play it, and the story beats are probably the thing that people are referring to when they say like they didn't want to play the game, and like you saying that just has me thinking of like one of these fucking hippie asshole reviewers that are like, oh, well, she's, there's a couple of situations that Ellie gets into that you have to do. Like when Peter, when you did the first, I assume, of a couple hospital things, when you finally tracked that person down, you have to go through with how you interrogate her. You can't not do it.
Right.
So.
And I had no problem with it. Well, that tells about my character.
Look, in my opinion, when she made that comment when you first found her, it's like, oh, this bitch is dead, Yeah. But it's the stuff like that, like the character growth that I could see people looking at and saying, this isn't fun, because it is. The content in this game is very, this isn't like a cartoony, like you were talking about. It's not Windjammers. It's not a Cell Damage. It's not. Right. It's not some kind of cartoony game. Like it's tackling very serious subjects. So I think the way that if the story plays out, if you're playing this game for the story, it is a very dark story. And watching the trailers, you probably know that.
Oh yeah.
The tone of this game is very dark.
That first trailer was dark when she had to take people on you get past the kiss, she was in a store running around axing people in the back. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So tone of the story is maybe the thing I could see people pointing at and being like, yeah, this is kind of hard to play.
That's what they're pointing to, not the gameplay. The gameplay I understand. The gameplay, that's what kept me going with The Last of Us 1. But the story in The Last of Us 1 was a story about not just survival, but there was a tangible end game to it. And I'm not I haven't figured out what people haven't talked about the end game other than, oh my god, this game just messed me up. And that's, I tried to get Wilmy Hood to sell me on it yesterday too, and he's like, yeah, man, this game will fuck you up. And I'm like, this does not sound like you're selling me on the game. So,
I mean,
maybe next week we will say the same thing. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? Like maybe next week we'll be like, yeah, dude, you should stay the fuck away from this.
Exactly.
But
you sell $60.
Yeah, I mean, Peter's further along than I am, so he's probably seen some more stuff. But I feel like if you're immersed in this world, if you're immersed in these characters, if you're into the story, as dark as it sounds, like Peter said, like doing this stuff just feels like, yeah, this is what I would do in that situation. Mm-hmm. So however you feel about that, and granted, I don't remember all the story beats from the first game, but I feel like the first game was pretty dark. So I don't feel like this is crossing any lines that are making this something worse. I know Ellie's, partner and like her lifestyle choices people have a problem with. And, I feel like I feel like if it serves the story for what they're trying to tell, and I understand, because trust me, when they started talking about this game and that whole thing came out, and they decided to center on, oh look, there's this big kiss scene. It's like, cool. I don't care. What does it have to do with the game? Like, what is the context of that in the story? Like, out of context and like that being like the showpiece. If that's like, oh, we're gonna pander to what the reviewers want to see. They want a very social friendly thing that goes with everyone's beliefs now and all this shit. And I'm just like, I don't play games for that. That borders on politics for me, and I'm not interested.
Right. But, and so I call it diversity for diversity's sake.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not into that. I am all about because we've talked about various games have various characters in it that are all backgrounds and things like that. I don't care about that. I mean, if it's a good story, if it brings me to enjoyment, I know people. I'll give you an example. In Uncharted 4, people bitched about what's her name. What was her name? The
Nadine.
One of the Nadine. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, but I actually like Nadine. Nathan Drake seems to always get himself out of trouble, and here's someone who just kicked his ass the whole. It's like it's like in the new Star Trek. Chris Pine as Captain Kirk got his ass kicked by everyone in the movie. So somebody has to be able to stop the protagonist at some point, and Nadine was a badass woman who just had skills to beat the shit out of him. He still won the game. It was still the story. The story ended with him living happily ever after. But what she did in that game, especially working with the main antagonist, was woven into the story. See, Amy Hennig knew how to weave that shit into the story before she was summarily pushed out of Naughty Dog. But this felt it all felt like ticking boxes just to tick the boxes, and that I'm sorry that bothers me, because it then takes away from the idea that you can put a good story together with good characters, and maybe that's what I'm having trouble in.
So
right now that didn't
Right,
to me it doesn't seem like they're checking boxes.
Okay.
Yeah,
very
Sorry, go ahead, Peter.
It's a very the way those characters are all connected to each other. It makes for such a good story. It's like it's fantastic. They all like the connections between those people and man.
Yeah.
To me, it makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't feel anything what you said. It's not check boxes like, hey, let's put Ellie as such and such in there because that's
Okay.
Either for controversy or for likiness from others. No.
But this is why I wanted your opinion on it, Peter. This is why I wanted you to hear from I wanted to know what you thought of the game in that way.
And it's a little hard to explain without giving
no
anything away from the story.
I got it. I mean, Frankie, are you in the same boat?
Yeah, I am, and I came into this game with your exact mindset. Like, I thought, okay, cool, they're just doing this because they want journalists to love this game, and that's what their thing is now.
Well, but it's the whole quote woke thing.
Sure, whatever. But like Peter said, like, as you're playing this game and kind of you interact with these characters more, you kind of see how just the way that they're written and the way they interact, like Peter said, like how everyone's woven together and just their relationships with each other. It's like you see, in my opinion, the thing that the first game failed for me was establishing like Ellie and Joel's relationship. Mm-hmm. Like I felt like just like 10 minutes later, like, all of a sudden they're best friends. And even though Joel like lied to her about something, and like they just didn't seem like they had this big strong relationship that everyone seemed to talk up. Like, to me, they didn't hit it. With this one, the way that Ellie and Dina interact and just their group of friends and just everything, like the way that they've built those characters, it actually comes across very natural with their relationship with with each other, with everyone else. Just like Peter said, it doesn't feel written to check boxes. Like it feels very genuine.
Okay. See, and I disagree about the first game in that the dynamic for me, the dynamic between Joel and Ellie in the arc of the story was it was this wild gradual change that, at the beginning of the game he wanted nothing to do with taking her anywhere and actually wanted to kill her to
it was just a business proposition at one point.
It was just a business thing. Yeah. And he grew to fall in love with her as if she were his daughter. And by the end of the game, in that last scene when you're going through the hospital, I got really into getting to her. And then at the end of the game, I knew what was going to happen. Like I knew that he was going to shoot the doctor or the whoever she was, and take off with Ellie, and they were going to go on the run. And he was going to be there was a point in the game when he became her protector, and it wasn't just like, oh, now I like her. There was this gradualness to it, and I really enjoyed that. And so if you're telling me that you're seeing the same things in this game with how these characters tie together, then now you're starting to bring me around to it.
The other thing too is the interactions between Joel and Ellie in this game feel a lot more sincere, and I feel like this game, I don't know if it's just because now like they have a handle on these characters and kind of expectations around them, but I feel like this game, like the times that Joel and Ellie are together in whatever scene you are with both of them around, now I feel it. Like now it feels more genuine. Like he's very much the father figure to her that she didn't have, and how
especially also when you see those flashbacks or when you go back in time, and it's like
exactly.
That's so beautiful. It really hits you in the feels at times. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it is. It's very well done in this game, and like Peter's talked about before, and I personally have a hard time attributing a 10 to anything. So it is what it is there. Like, but so far story wise and character development wise, like the way that Ellie's path is heading and just the characters around her, like I'm invested. Like I actually care this time around. Like playing through the first game, like I said, I attribute a lot of this to me playing The Witcher at the same time, but like I actually feel a connection to these characters, and I'm very impressed with that.
Without the DLC, to me though, I will say Ellie was a box check, and I think the DLC tried to get that box check before the second game. I still don't understand what that has to do with her and the zombies and the apocalypse, and what her role in saving the world, saving humanity is. So, that's my struggle. It's just how I feel. It's my honest opinion. You guys have made it a little easier for me, and now I want to hear what happens when you get to the end of the game.
Yeah, I'm curious too.
But
it's possible we'll go downhill, and then we say, "Oh, dang! The first part was a 10 out of 10, and the last part is like sucks so bad that
totally possible."
Right.
It's possible. I don't know.
You come on the next show. You're rocking in your chair.
Yeah, it's like, man.
Hold on, Mike.
Yeah.
I'll send you a message. Hey, sorry, I can't be on this week. I'm with a therapist tonight.
Yeah, exactly.
I have a question about the first one, and I don't give a shit about being spoiled. But was Ellie the reason why Joe did what he did with the doctors and saved her from the hospital, or whatever? But does supposedly that she has a cure or something?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
she was right.
Yeah, she's immune.
So going into this second
one, the first one we can spoil, right?
It's
a remaster.
I think so.
It's like 20
I think
years old by now.
Yeah.
So going into the second one, does that have any play at all, or is that something that maybe may come out later?
Yes, there is actually there's a flashback that happens that kind of digs more into that. So I don't want to really dig into it, but the one thing I will say is, the way that in one of the trailers, Ellie is talking to Joel about how I've never met anyone else immune. Have you? And like Joel made it sound like, they had other people that were immune. So, and there's times throughout the game too that's kind of referenced like, oh, you're the one, like, you're her. So, like, people are aware that Ellie was the person who could have been the cure for everything going on, and it digs more into it in this game than it did in the first game. So like it kind of fills in a lot of the potholes that you probably came out of the first game, playing, like, oh well, if that's the case, like, what's so special about Ellie if other people can be used for the same cure? But this one really breaks down, like, there's, like Peter and I have talked about, if you're not exploring, there's notes laying around that have like detailed, like, oh, this is great, this is what we can do with this, and like you get a lot of background information on what their plans were as you're playing through this part of the game.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Some of the characters in this one, were they also in the first one? Or just...
Yes, there's characters that return from where your like homestead was in the first game that are still with you in this game.
Okay. Now, as far as the enemies, I mean, I know y'all end up playing as what's her name? I guess she's considered an enemy, but who else is an enemy in this game besides the clickers? Do y'all get any decent time dealing with the clickers?
The clickers. Now you also have different, different factions that are more important.
Uh-huh.
You have like the scars.
Fuck them.
Yeah, man. Now if I would walk in the dark through like a park and I hear whistling, I'll pick up the pace.
God.
They're the whistlers. They're like the whispers, but they're the whistlers.
I heard that the clickers were much freakier in this game.
That too. The sounds are so.
God.
Yeah, I heard that these were freaky.
That kind of gives you
I saw a video, and I want to try this now that I've seen somebody do it. But there was somebody who so you can grab runners if you're sneaking around, so you get like the triangle prompt to grab them.
Mm-hmm.
But there was somebody who alerted a clicker, and the clicker was starting to like fucking come at him. Dude, the way they move creeps me out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, so the clickers
even in the
like
first one.
Yeah, like they're very unsettling. But so the clicker's like coming towards you, and the guy grabbed a runner, and the clicker ended up attacking the runner.
Mm.
And Ellie scooted off. I was like, you can do that? Like,
Right,
I gotta try that.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
But yeah, Chris, there's different factions. The wolves are
wolves?
kind of they're just like a basic, rebel military group of people. And then the fucking scars are these assholes who they have hunting. Do they have the dogs, or the wolves have the dogs? They both probably have dogs.
I think they both have dogs.
Fucking assholes.
Yeah.
So the fucking scars, so they'll whistle, and that's their way to communicate with each other. So once someone sees you, you just start hearing all these random whistles, and you'll have arrows come flying at you out of nowhere, which if you don't pull out, you'll bleed out.
Yeah. Which
I think is a new mechanic, but I don't know. Peter, have you run into anything else like outside of those two?
Yeah, I thought there was another group.
God.
I just can't.
There probably is, because I know one of the notes
there's another group like they're not really. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's a splinter group from the wolves. I don't.
Yeah, because I know there was a note you find that kind of makes mention of a faction splitting in two.
Yeah.
That it isn't the scars, because the scars are like fighting with the
scars.
wolves.
Yeah.
By the way, the chat room has gone into a whole different discussion.
Yeah.
Later, Dreadful.
Paying attention. Hey.
Good night,
what
brothers.
group is Abby part of?
Abby, so basically,
Well, no.
Yeah,
That's a spoiler. Don't do that.
Yeah,
That's a spoiler.
Okay,
Yeah.
That's a spoiler. If I'm
I
gonna
know
play it,
I know what she's important, and I cannot tell.
all right. Yeah,
It's
don't
good,
do
though.
that.
It makes sense. It makes now sense while she's there, and while you
No.
play.
Well, I kind of heard, but I thought maybe she was part of one of those groups you were talking
Yeah,
about.
don't. Yeah, not yet.
Oh, yeah, she's part of a group. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So
Hmm.
I appreciate the impressions here. I mean, it does.
Will be continued.
Yeah, it does.
next week,
It does
Feel
help.
good? Yeah.
I got time to finish up a couple of things, and then if you guys get farther and you're still happy, then maybe I'll give it a whirl. So.
But definitely, this game definitely had more kind of jump moments than the first one.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, that's what.
Well, things are like, oh my goodness, it's definitely make jump.
All right. Sweet.
That's so cool.
All right.
Love.
there were a couple that were kind of they're like easy jump scares. Like you have like a clicker in a wall that just is like, and you're just like, God damn.
Yeah. But there was another one. It's like when you're in a museum and all of a sudden, like,
Oh God.
it's like, oh, hey, it's like, whew. That made me jump. That was the
Yeah.
So
first.
this game is
Oh yeah.
it's not on the Switch, so
No.
that's why Generation Gamer is not interested.
Yeah.
But he does have a PS4.
I do have a PS4. You know, I actually haven't played any Naughty Dog games since Uncharted 4.
Yeah, that's the last game I played.
It's a bad one.
Yeah. I still need to play that one.
It's
I enjoyed
not
it.
that
With
bad.
Uncharted 4 is
3, 2, and 1 were so much better.
Really?
Thank you. Thank you.
Uncharted
Yeah, I've heard
4
that
is
too.
actually another one of those games that I had to fight myself to just finally finish. I like the touches with the
God,
with
Frankie's got a new
playing the
friend.
original Crash Bandicoot, but the it just 4 just wasn't. I just didn't find 4 that interesting. Maybe it's because I already played the exact same thing 3 times before.
But you feel like they shoehorned the brother in? Because that's what
Yes.
some people feel like too. Like
I
he just
feel
came
like
out of
that.
nowhere.
Yeah.
Was there no mention of him in the first 3, right?
Nope.
That
And
is
it's-
true, and you know I didn't like the backstory of Nathan Drake. It took away his whole identity.
They already gave him a fucking backstory too. Like they did that in 3.
But they redid it to add in his brother.
And then they took like the shittiest way out. It's like, oh well, I couldn't bring myself to talk about him. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? Like you go through a 4 and it's like, oh my God, my brother was this big part of my life, and it's like,
Well, he
So-
wasn't there in the first 3 games.
yeah,
Mention
no,
of him in the last 3 games.
nothing.
It's like a lost treasure. Found it.
Yeah,
With
Pretty
the
much.
of Supersonic.
he couldn't fart his name one time.
Yeah. Like even a slip up somewhere where he accidentally says Sam and someone asks what, like they could have had something somewhere that made mention of him, but nope, just all of a sudden, oh yeah, hey, I have a brother. Game sucked.
Yeah, I wasn't
Oh my
a big
God.
fan.
The game sucked.
Look,
wow.
anything-
But I mean, in The Last of Us, you know, it's funny. It's like, oh, there's an Uncharted container, and here's a
Yeah,
let's do
you
an
know,
Uncharted. Hoist me
You
up.
know, somebody gave me a copy of The Last of Us Remastered, and I never played it, and I actually gave it away.
Mm.
It's a good game. It's a solid game. It's
I didn't want to
different
get
than
sucked
Uncharted.
into a new series that I was going to have to push myself to get through.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
good.
will say the middle of The Last of Us, the first one got a little grindy, but it wasn't open world, so I stopped playing it for a while. Then I went back to it and kind of, you know what else the game was like that? Metro
Game One made
Exodus.
Supersonic Station.
Yeah,
was,
shame me all you want, brother.
But this
Shame me all
version
you
too,
want.
it's you know, even it's also a very guided open world. Yeah.
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 Like I love those.
But there
kind
were
of
some
games.
parts. What I hate. There's one thing that I really hate about this game. It's like there's one thing where you're like on a ledge and you know you're gonna jump off that you can't go back.
Yeah.
There was one part in this game, and I went through a door, and then something happened, and then the door was barricaded, and I couldn't get back. And it's
That
like,
pissed me off. That happened
Did
to
you
me.
push
Yeah,
a
so
did you
much.
push a,
Like,
a
oh.
lamp or a block or something and hear?
Nope.
No.
no, that was it. So
So
hopefully,
other
Yeah,
than that,
this one was one of the doors that you just walk through, and all of a sudden, oh, there's a cutscene. Oh, fuck, I can't go back.
Yeah.
Yep, I ran into that. I probably know where you're talking about because there was like a lot of different buildings to explore, and I'm like, I'm not really sure which way I'm supposed to be going, so I'm gonna go over here.
My Amico has been pre-ordered, so
I know. I was referring to someone in the chat.
I think I might know who.
So, all right. Okay, so considering it's getting on midnight, I want to get to the last bit of the other topic that I wanted to cover. And look, guys, this is I know we're not all streamers, but I find this to be significant.
Oh, this isn't Biomutant.
This is not Biomutant. I'll tell you what.
that game's not coming out.
I will.
It's coming out.
Okay, I will work on getting Biomutant next week for you.
Oh God.
Remind me.
It could be out by next week. and then
Remind
Chris is gonna
me.
be shocked.
Getting delayed.
Remind me,
It's,
and
you
I
can't
will
delay a game.
Definitely.
remind me, and I will get the trailer for you.
Oh yeah,
All
this,
right.
this happened this week, didn't it?
This happened out of nowhere. Phil tweeted out, "Hey guys, just wanted to let you know we're shutting Mixer down, and hey, go to Facebook Gaming."
Wait, did you do the thing to tell people
Oh,
we were
I'm
done?
sorry, guys. Hey, if you are muting us, we are done. Now, hopefully, they see the screen and they see the.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you didn't,
yeah,
you
there's
didn't
no
change,
spoilers.
You didn't change the topic.
There-
It still
oh,
says
that's
last.
right.
Are you
See,
drowning?
I am falling down on the job.
Oh,
See,
okay, we're done. Not just put "not" in front of The Last of Us 2.
oh, I need a better way to do this. Oh, and that's
Ah,
ugly
man.
at that.
Or
Oh,
Mixer, Last
good
of Us.
grief.
I'm just so happy that there's other
The
people
last-
who realize Uncharted 4 was terrible.
Oh my.
Today's
God.
been great. I like this guy. We should get him on the show forever.
Still need to play. Finish
It's
2.
way past my bedtime.
Yeah, well, I want to get done because he's gonna
this
hate
is-
me in the morning.
Yeah. This
All
might
right.
be big.
So Mixer, the operations side of Mixer is shutting down. Ergo, Mixer is going away. On July, what is it, 22nd? Nope, 22nd.
It's JD's birthday.
Yeah,
Brent's
they
birthday.
will.
Somebody's
All
birthday.
Mixer sites and apps will redirect to Facebook Gaming. Yep, and the Mixer app on your Xbox that you use to stream will be shut down. So, so look, we all know that Mixer was not doing what Microsoft wanted it to do. You know, even during the pandemic, even while everybody was home, and video gaming as a whole has increased and stuff. You know, Twitch grew and YouTube has grown.
Even Facebook Gaming has grown.
Even Facebook Gaming has grown, and now there's another one, Trovo, that's in beta that I can't even get a code for. So I don't know. They don't want me. I guess they don't like Jews, but they.
Wait, Dina's Jewish.
somebody-
I mean, spoilers, but
Huh?
Dina's Jewish, so you know.
Who? Okay.
Yeah.
In The Last of Us 2,
you did tell me that. I did know that.
there's a synagogue.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you know.
You know what, Mike? I'll try and see if it's 2 for 2.
Okay. You'll get a code because they just Anyway, so all these other streaming services have grown, except for Mixer, and
Didn't shrink
Microsoft.
though. It stayed steady.
It stayed the same. It didn't shrink, but it didn't grow. And remember, they pulled two of the biggest names from Twitch over to Mixer. You had Ninja, of course, and you had Shroud. And you know what's funny about Ninja? He was on. I don't know if any of you watched the Masked Singer. My wife and I liked it. It was a neat little show. Celebrities dress up in costumes. You can't see them, and they wear a big mask and they sing. And then if they if they get voted off the show, you try to guess who they are. Well, Ninja was one of those on there. Never mentioned Xbox at all. Never, if you didn't know who this guy was and you just saw him on a show, he never really pimped Xbox for much of anything. Most of his Twitch followers didn't come over, and Twitch, who everybody thought, oh my God, Twitch was going down, Ninja's leaving Twitch, they didn't really hurt him that much, if at all. Because Twitch people that like Twitch found other people to watch. So Mixer is done next month, and Facebook gaming is something there's something there between Xbox and Facebook that they kind of touched on with xCloud and this play to click thing. So there's something that they're building with Facebook, and I guess the deal was we'll secede the streaming platform of ours to you, and you help us out with maybe Mindshare or play to click, where it's easy for people to see something on Facebook or on Instagram, and they showed a picture of the official Halo Instagram with a little play to click, and I know, Peter, you had you and Nate had sort of a possible conspiracy theory as well as to what a Facebook Xbox partnership could bring.
I like conspiracy theories.
Like what? Like Oculus?
Like possibly Oculus.
Yeah. And also, and what I think is not that Oculus necessarily coming to Xbox, but I can see xCloud being a way to play on your Oculus Quest and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that's a possibility.
Yep.
So,
maybe
I hope Oculus comes to the devices come to Xbox, especially now that with the Quest, which is wireless and all that stuff. I mean, that's what Phil Spencer said. I'm not interested unless it's has no wires and there's none of that stuff. So who knows?
Yeah.
We can only hope.
Well, and I'm gonna bring this picture. So I'm on, as I was reading through the the news article on the Wire, the Xbox Wire, the money shot for what I think is going on or going to happen is in this quote here. Key to this vision is our Project xCloud technology, which we see delivering games to all kinds of screens and windows in your life, including those on Facebook. Gaming is already part of our social fabric, and Project xCloud can take you from discussing a new game, whether it's a funny in-game moment posted by a friend, an ad, or an ongoing stream, directly to playing it. In the future, through the power of Xbox Live and Project xCloud, we see there being just one click between I'm watching and I'm playing. So imagine, and I can see this. So you're watching your favorite Fortnite streamer on, sorry, something in my throat. Jago! What's up, Jago? You're watching your favorite fork knife streamer, and he's like, hey guys, you want to join my game? And he pops up a little click to play, and you click it, and your Project xCloud pops up, and next thing you know, you're playing with your favorite streamer playing, fork knife. I mean, I could see that being a draw.
Interesting.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, until all the cool popular streamers start talking shit about everybody.
Well, right.
They don't want to play games with their fans.
No.
I can see it being, going after
they
the
pay.
casual market, the ones that play Farmville and what some of the other King games, and maybe they even
right.
see an ad and it's like, click here to play, and it's like,
Oh yeah,
hey, that's
Candy
cool.
Crush.
Candy Crush, yeah.
Right.
It's like,
Didn't Activision buy them?
I don't, did they?
Yes.
I think so.
Yes, they did. So, but I mean,
So
think
maybe there's an
about it.
ad, and click here, and then all of a sudden, you signed up for a free trial to xCloud, and then the next month comes, and you still subscribed, and there you go.
I mean, there.
$9.99.
Do the thing I do where you forget you subscribe to something until the renewal fee pops up, and you're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Right.
Damn it.
I'm glad I'm much too cheap for that.
Oh, wait. So he is like John after all. All right. So the other quote coming out of that is, in the meantime, we'll continue to invest time, energy, and resources to bring Project xCloud to global scale through Azure. We're always testing new features and learning, and we're excited to explore further as we look to debut click-to-play scenarios within the Facebook gaming and Instagram communities. You know what? You make that noise, and I understand that noise, but I don't understand Instagram myself, but that's the new hotness. I mean, that is the, forget it. Take Facebook out for a second. Instagram.
I would love to.
Instagram's kind of where it's at. And
Doesn't Facebook own them too?
Well, yes, but I don't think people put two and two together. So, but you can't deny that Instagram is the big thing. I mean, it just is. So
Yes, I don't know. I tried it once, and I'm like,
I'm not on
the
it.
same shit that's on Facebook, so I don't even do it anymore. It's like,
it is.
Yeah.
I'm seeing the
but
same shit on Facebook.
But every famous person's on it, and it's one of those things where you don't have to be on Facebook. And, I don't use it, but my wife does. My kids do, And so, Microsoft's pushing that get to everyone mentality, and this is where it's headed. Here, transitioning to Mixer community is a key part of the broader effort that Xbox and Facebook Gaming are embarking on, bringing new experiences and opportunities to Facebook, where every month more than 700 million people play a game, watch a gaming video, or interact in a gaming group. I forgot about that. I'm part of a couple of groups myself.
There you go.
So what I find funny about this, from an IT standpoint, Peter, you'll appreciate this, is that they're taking the investments. So Microsoft Teams will leverage Mixer's deep investments in ultra low latency video streaming, real-time interactivity, and video distribution technology to accelerate our ability to support a variety of video-first virtual experiences, from meetings to live events to other broadcast scenarios. I will tell you that as a person that uses Teams every day, that could be some cool stuff, considering what Mixer does.
Well, and here's the thing, it's like, I mean, look at it, like Sea of Thieves, those streams, the official streams that they did, it was always on Twitch. It's like, you have Mixer, but you're doing it on Twitch, and like the, those what are they called? Yeah. And certain giveaways where you have to watch, streamers on Twitch for the Sea of Thieves in order to get your sales and all the other crap. It's like, well, they're not using Mixer. That's already kind of a strange sign, right? It's like you go and
it's like they hired Sony's product people who were like, hey, we have this thing out, but let's not acknowledge it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, like, I mean, look at it now. All the games, they're also coming to Steam and other stuff, and they make money. So I also think, like, by limiting their thing to just their Mixer, their own, streaming platform, it kind of limits what they want to do. So I think by taking that out, now they can, people, hopefully we get an easy way to stream to whatever you select, type in your stream key and your other stuff, and off you go. So you can go to YouTube or your Trovio or whatever that other thing is called, or Twitch or the next thing that's coming around.
What
so
they
that
honestly...
that will be good. And the other thing is like, I mean, it's now there's a lot of pressure on, whoever hosts that content, you're liable for whatever is published and stuff. It's a liability. So now they get rid of that too. I mean,
Blues Tech says 10th gen gaming consoles will be stream boxes essentially. Don't tell John. He'll be out.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that, because while you were saying that, I just had a thought. If Microsoft, or Sony for that matter, were smart, either one of them, I would go after a partnership with OBS to bring, one of the things that I don't know if you guys had heard of, I think it's called Lightstream, where you can kind of add those. If you're streaming directly from your console, you could use your PC though to still kind of add things to the stream so that you have some fancy graphics and stuff like that without having to buy a capture card. Yeah. But imagine, especially if, look, Microsoft still runs off of a Windows core, right? That's still the gist of their OS. Imagine, and Sony could do it too. So I'm not trying to, shut up, console warriors. But imagine one of these consoles actually partnering with OBS to bring that like an OBS console version streaming platform as the streaming thing. So instead of having a Twitch app, instead of having a Facebook app, you've got an OBS app, and you can add all this cool stuff, that you have, and then you could use your camera and you could do all these things. Imagine how powerful your streaming engine would become, and how great, that could really make a difference with going to Facebook gaming or YouTube or whatnot. I mean, maybe they wouldn't do it because of capture card sales and things like that, but imagine that. I mean, what do you think of that?
Yeah, I mean, they could. At least now they can partner or have it available in anything.
So let me throw a thing out there. So the new, how are they calling the thing, the new PS5 controller? Like, Sony said they were doing something different with the share button.
Mm-hmm.
So they were saying it's now like a create button or something that they of course haven't talked about. And they're saying, oh yeah, we'll have a lot to say about that later. Like, do you think that's something that they might be pursuing themselves as well?
Possibly.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
Like, I mean, that would be the logical next step from what they had with the PS4.
Coop.
And the PS4 had native YouTube streaming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which
YouTube and Twitch. Yeah. I think there was another one. Daily Motion.
Daily Motion, which I don't think anybody used. I don't think it's there anymore. I don't know if it's there anymore. I have to look.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Or even would be cool if you could do a restream.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, that would be nice.
All of a sudden,
there was another one too, but I can't remember the name of it. It didn't last very long.
I think I know what you're talking about. I know Vimo.
No, it wasn't Vimo.
No. I know what you're talking about. Supersonic Station says, God no, Restream went to crap. So, I mean, I know, Peter, you set up a Facebook gaming page.
Just so I can reserve some stuff.
But would you consider streaming to it?
Would I consider it all depends. Like, I typically, I have an Elgato, so I can, stream wherever I want to stream. Integrated with Mixer was just easy because, you don't have to do a whole lot. You can just say, hey, stream, and you stream to Mixer, and at that point later on you can download it. It all depends how they want to integrate it with, how easy it is to integrate with other stuff and whatever has the best quality.
Quite frankly, I like having things separated from my personal account.
Well, you can do that. You don't
You
have
can?
to. You mean, yeah, you can have I set up a separate Facebook account just for.
Yeah, I would. I mean, I can imagine once Facebook gets this thing going, there'll be an app or something on the Xbox to where they can go to stream straight from your Xbox account, stream it on Facebook Gaming.
But
I'm sure it'd be similar to Mixer, but I'm curious to see how the layout's gonna look, and just how the chat interactive,
the quality,
back and
latency.
forth on it. Yeah. So I mean, until I see it come out and see how it looks, we'll see. I can see myself using it because there is still a gaming community on Facebook also, and that you can try to attract. So.
But I kind of hate them all. I don't like Twitch, I mean, just from a, privacy standpoint and Google and other stuff, and even that new Trivio, whatever that thing is called.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's owned by Tencent and other stuff. It's like, remember when Mixer was still Beam Pro? That seemed pretty independent.
Yep.
That was kind of nice. But everybody that's independent, how can they make money? They have to do something with it.
Yeah.
So everything will go to the to shit.
Yeah, I mean,
you don't have a choice. You have to give something up in order to stream.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, Twitch is Amazon, YouTube is Google.
Exactly. Right. I mean, they harvest your data and correlate it to a whole bunch of different things. Even when you think like, but I create a separate account from whatever, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. So
they put one and one together, and they know exactly who's watching what. And then you have your ads and other stuff that are cross-linked and this, and I mean, it's, yeah.
Now, for those who want to go over, they have said that if you're a Mixer partner, they whatever your deal was with Microsoft, they were going to as close as they could mimic that with Facebook. So they're trying to get some incentives. I know Facebook is reaching out to some folks. Ninja and Shroud did not go over. So
that's what they say now, but Facebook offers them the right money.
I heard they offered them.
Consider.
I heard they offered them a crap ton to come over. Now, the question. So here's an interesting question. If you even care, does I mean, Ninja left Twitch kind of high and dry, and Twitch never really flinched, and they haven't. It wasn't the oh my god, goodbye Twitch, and even when Shroud went over, does Twitch just bring them back like they were before? Does Twitch just open arms, welcome back, guys?
I don't know.
I don't know that they do.
Probably not with its big incentives. I mean, if they didn't flinch, then there was no loss.
Yeah. Ninja, the new. I think I said this the other day. The new face of Stadia.
Who knows? You don't know. Could
they
be,
have the money to do it.
Hey.
If they want to.
Yeah.
To where they make him a big part of YouTube gaming.
Yeah.
But one thing too, I would say about Facebook, because I mean they're a big company like Microsoft. They got the clout. They got the means to, like YouTube. I feel us being on YouTube and streaming on YouTube, we have a better chance of attracting viewers. I didn't feel that way about Twitch. Twitch was, I feel like you had to really, unless you were a partner or whatever, or whatever they call it,
an affiliate,
your chances of, you really got to put work in it. And I think Facebook, you have a good chance of attracting a lot of viewers, and it's easier to try to go out there and market yourself on Facebook. So
well, let me ask. So and we don't have to talk about this tonight, obviously, but is there a scenario for us? Maybe something for us to think about.
Yeah, I can
You
see
know?
that. Like we can have a NLG Facebook page that only focuses on, like, hey, go to YouTube and check our podcast. Hey, check out our streams here on Facebook. There's something that we could look at.
Yeah, but I
See
mean,
how that works.
what about bringing the show to? I mean, we could talk again. Just
Well,
thoughts
you
about
could
maybe
stream
bringing
both
the show.
ways.
Yeah, we could.
Well, or stream both YouTube and. Yeah, I say I can't see us leaving YouTube. I like how.
Well, we just got back to 1,000 subs, so no, I'm not.
I know. That's what
yeah.
I'm saying. Yeah.
So,
But I just think see us stream to both.
But one other thing to consider.
Here, Coop says Facebook gaming is a mess. So check that out. Worst interface I've ever seen.
Oh,
I think it's because it's shoehorned in the whole Facebook,
Yeah.
framework, and it's like, oh, and
And that's probably why they went
gaming
to Microsoft or wherever about Mixer.
Mhm.
Maybe they wanted to bring in that to help with that. I don't know.
Maybe they bring that in. The other thing about Facebook though too, guys, is they're making other moves. So don't forget they also bought Ready at Dawn Studios or acquired Ready at Dawn. Now that doesn't mean we're getting a Order 1886 Facebook game because that IP still is owned by Sony, but they're starting to this is their first studio acquisition other than Oculus. And yes, Cooper, we know they own Oculus, which is not a small thing.
Well, they also did the Beat Saber company and stuff, right?
Right, the Beat Saber right.
And then
so
it's a couple of more of those things.
They're quietly building a little stable of studios.
What was the VR game that Ready at was it Lone Echo?
Yes.
Yeah, I know that game was huge for them.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a smart get for them because I know that studio wants to keep making VR games.
Yep. And that's probably why they acquired them. So.
Hey, here's another thing. If you want to do anything with Oculus, you need to create a Facebook account.
See? It all ties in together.
Of course.
Yeah.
So, well, we'll keep an eye on this over the next few months and see what happens. I'll set up an NLG page, and if we but see that the thing too is it tied to something? Can we all share that? Can we at least here on YouTube? Can you?
Yeah, my Gen Gamer page, and I have a group, and you can authorize anybody you want to have access. You just need a Facebook account.
Okay. Well, but see, here on YouTube, all I have to do if Frankie wants to stream something is just give him the login to the YouTube page. With
you could
Mixer,
also create a brand account out of it, and then he can have access to it himself.
That might be all right. I might look into that. But even at that, like Mixer, when it was Beam, we could do that. When it became Mixer, we lost that capability.
Yeah, because it's tied to your Microsoft account.
Right. The other thing too is what is their video on demand like there? YouTube is forever. Mixer was 14 days. Twitch because we were an affiliate was 60 days. And that's kind of why we like Facebook as well, or YouTube as well, because our shows are all here. But Facebook is going to have to do something similar to that, I think, in order for us to. I would think in order for us to even consider podcasting there, we'd have to know that our stuff wouldn't disappear in 3 months.
Yeah.
Because I'm not doing that shit again. So, anyway, I figure we'll keep our eyes on this and see how it develops. But it is interesting, the whole Facebook click-to-play thing. It could be huge. So, any last words on that?
No.
Game
See
of
what
gamers.
happens.
Hearing none. So, all right. Well, we made it. Hang on. Let's. Want to thank everybody for in the chat and for being here tonight and supporting us, and we love. Man, I tell you, I truly am enjoying the new kind of some of the new blood in the room. That's and quickly becoming friends with our old are older fans. So, and it's just great, and it's added to the minus Michael Garvey. I know he left already.
He went to sleep.
I know, and not before he trolled the hell out of us, but it was all in good fun. I know, but it just I love I always love the conversations going on in there. So, everybody makes the show better. So, and J Prime, man, thanks for coming in. So
thanks for having me.
Yeah,
I didn't have much to contribute towards the end of this.
Well, because you're falling asleep, aren't you?
It's way past my bedtime.
Yeah, I totally understand. It's totally
almost
cool.
time to get up.
Right.
Yeah. No.
So that's why I'm looking down.
You're 3.5 hours. It's supposed to be up.
Oh yeah. So we'll get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
We'll get the hell out of here. But thanks a lot. Hey, tell everybody real quick how to find you.
You can actually just search for Generational Gamer on YouTube. In fact, I think it even works in Google now. But I have Facebook, I have Twitter. In fact, if you go to Mike, and then I'm pretty sure you can find me directly from him as well. But here, let me put it in here. This is the direct link to my channel. I do appreciate the ability to do the shout out to myself.
I don't think it'll let you. But you're right. If you put Generational Gamer in Google, you are the first. You are literally the first thing.
Let me try that again. YouTube.
Sorry, we started without you, Coop. So
there. Hey, it did work. Sweet.
It just Eastern time. That's Pacific.
It doesn't show. It's not showing up. It's only showing up for you. That's all right. We'll put it in. I'll get it into the description. Not to worry. So, but
that
yeah,
works. Hey, that works. Twitter.
There you go.
Facebook is also just Generational Gamer 110. That's same for Instagram.
Awesome. See, Instagram. See,
Foodstagram.
Click to play. So, all right.
If
Peter,
you're
Chris,
interested in a minute or less of a video, then it's perfect.
There you go. So, Peter, Chris, Frankie, another one in the books, guys.
Another one in the books.
It was a good one. Good talk.
This was good.
People felt it. But I saw people dropping out when The Last of Us 2 talk was going on. So
it's hard.
They were talking about
the spoilers.
Final Fantasy.
It's hard for the spoilers.
Yeah.
Well, the
but
thing is, you couldn't tell about spoilers, so that makes it kind of hard to kind of describe what we were after and stuff.
I'll be honest with you. You didn't spoil anything, really.
No.
No, I didn't think so either.
No, I thought you guys, I think you did a hell of a job kind of walking around that. I really do. I'm being honest. You guys did a hell of a job because you didn't spoil anything for me. I didn't know anything more coming out other than what your feelings were from a high level. I don't know anything more about the story than I did when we started. So good job, both of you guys. Seriously. So.
Yeah, and hopefully next show we'll have some more. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's either going to be
more follow up, either like you still
you're gonna
continue liking this, or like
or you're going to show up in all black.
Yeah.
Coop said he's going to finish it this weekend.
All right.
So I
he said
definitely
it's
want to
great.
get his opinion on it too.
So, yeah.
Excellent.
So, all right.
Hey,
So
did you say there are games
Coop
with
and I, we have
gold
been in a
games?
party, and
I did, but you know what? If I play that trailer, you're going to get mad. So I'm not playing it.
What? Wait. What are the games? Don't play this trailer. Just what are the games?
The games are. I know WRC 8's one of them.
Again?
I thought WRC 7 was.
7.
Oh my God! Is this a sports game?
No, it's a rally game. It's a racing game. But I never liked the.
7 wasn't it hard without a wheel?
Well, it was also 30 frames per second, wasn't it?
I don't know. Maybe this one is better. I'm definitely gonna give it a try.
Unplayable.
It wasn't that. I don't remember it being that good. So games with gold for July is WRC 8, but I'll give it a run. Drunk Lords, which will be available July 16th through August 15th. Saints
Drunk
Row
Lords?
2, yeah, Dunk Lords. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Ooh.
this sounds
Dunk
significantly
Lords.
less interesting.
So, Saints Row 2, Xbox 360, and Juju.
Yeah, that was still a good one.
Saints Row 2 was a good one. I did like Saints Row 2.
I like
didn't
Saints
like-
Row 2. I'll pick
I
that
didn't
up.
like what was it? What's the? No, I think 3 was not as.
Yeah.
No.
I liked 1 and 2. I didn't care for the rest.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought they kind of went in a weird direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 was like really bizarre.
Yeah.
To be different from GTA.
Yeah. Yeah. Dunk Lords is
Wasn't that
can
about
you-
the freckle bitches?
you won't like this. Dunk Lords, you can ball, but can you fight? Find out in this fantastic 2-on-2 basketball beat 'em up.
Oh, it's like what's it? Remember the on the original Xbox for the golf?
Yeah.
You can beat up your caddy and stuff, or the caddy could...
Outlaw Golf.
Outlaw Golf, yeah.
Oh, I had that and Outlaw Volleyball. I have and Outlaw Golf too.
There's an NES game, right?
Arch
J-Prime?
Rivals.
Yeah.
Arch Rivals, which
Where
was
you
an
can sit there,
arcade
you're
game.
going down the court, punch them, get the ball.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Arch Rivals.
Yeah, I love that.
It's
game.
on the Genesis also. It's based on an arcade game.
Yep, that was the
Yeah.
precursor to NBA Jam. So
He's on fire.
yeah,
NBA Jam, it's like, on the on the 360 or the it's not the same as it was
No.
as the original.
no.
Come
Well,
on,
the
now it's
original
like,
technically
now
the
there's the
arcade.
Washington Wizards. It's like,
If you're looking to play
shit,
those,
it should
who
be the
made those?
Bullets.
Those were
It's
Midway,
Juan
right?
Howard and stuff, That's
Stuff,
the
Sam.
real deal, not the new stuff.
Oh, that's
So-
right.
Yeah.
Steve Carell is the commentator on Outlaw Golf. Yeah, I agree. It wasn't. And the arcade, I mean, I think the 32X was the best home version of that.
What about the arcade one?
Ooh.
Things. What flavor is it? Is it the new
It's-
one or is it the old one?
It's the 3 of them are. Hold on. See, now J Prime's never going to come on again because.
He has to. I like him far more than John.
Call in to work. Here.
Let's see. It is. Wow, it's $500 at GameStop.
Gross.
What?
NBA.
Don't-
So it's NBA Jam. I'm just doing it for the picture. I just need to see what the front is. NBA Jam Tournament Edition, and NBA Hang Time.
Oh,
What
maybe it was,
console though?
was it Hang Time?
No, it's the
I have it on
arcade.
PC. The old
Oh, the
one.
arcade game. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, the one up.
yeah.
I'm still gonna get that Star Wars one.
Hang Time was like the unofficial sequel. Like that's
There's that game is in a compilation, the Arcade Perfect emulated version.
What's
I
the one
think
that
it's
came
a
out for
Midway
PC?
Arcade Classic. NBA Jam.
Way back when. 90s.
God, this looks so boring. Drunk Lords is probably a cooler title. Not a game that
Probably.
should be.
Hang on a sec.
I have to dig in my cupboard down here, my cabinet, and see what version I have. See if I can get it to run.
Last thing I promise, since Sam brought it up in the chat, so there was
Thanks, Sam.
Outlaw Golf.
Yeah, I have that one.
There was the sequel, Outlaw Golf 2.
I don't think I ever got that one.
So that
with
one,
El Suave or whatever. That's the first one, right?
yes. Well,
Yeah.
they had the same characters, but the second
Oh,
one
okay.
had online. You could play it online. The second one.
Oh, okay.
The first one you could not. The second one you could. Then you had Outlaw Tennis, which Sam talked about.
Oh, I don't know if ever. I don't think I
Yeah,
ever.
this
knew
Outlaw
about.
Tennis was great. And then my favorite of the series, honestly, is Outlaw Volleyball. This tried to be a little bit like Dead or Alive beach volleyball, but
yeah.
you could also literally fight your opponent on the.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
Those were so fun. Bring those back. We need remasters for
these
this
need
puppy.
remasters or make these backward compat. Make them backward
Yes.
compat. So
Phil
there
Spencer,
you go.
If you're listening,
There you go,
You
Sam.
should be listening.
Yeah. All right, let's get out of here, guys. I'm sorry, Sam. You'll have to come back and watch the beginning of the show unless you were watching it and just now joined the chat. We do start. Oh, and Slugfest. All right, stop. You got to stop. Stop.
I
stop.
love Slugfest.
Slugfest was awesome. Pour one out from Midway, one of my favorites. Okay, let's get out of here, and maybe you know what, Sam, if you hang out with us at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, you might have talked me into maybe doing a little retro outlaw for the future. So I'm gonna write that one in my book. And
I wanna hook
Was it a
up
Wonka
my
book?
OG again and play that game. That was so great.
yes,
Oh, I love that one.
The Outlaw series. Got it.
And I don't remember the actual golf being bad either.
No, it wasn't. It was actually a really good. It was a really solid game.
Yeah.
So, all right, we're doing this, and if you, this will be a future retro segment. All right, guys, thank you so much, J Prime. Thanks for hanging out past 12:30, brher. Seriously, I did not mean for us.
Man.
I did not mean. I did. Your wife's gonna be mad at me too. Don't just tell her I appreciate it. We appreciate it. We'll catch everybody next week at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time on Thursday night. If you're still in this chat room, hit that like button on your way out, please. Tell a friend, bring them in. We'd love to chat. So everybody have a great night and play on, gamers.
Game on, guys.
See ya.
Appreciate it, everybody.